Welcome to the fantasy audiobook. Pokemon. Pick up the Super Dream Treasure box at the beginning. Chapter 61. Dragon Country. A secret base. Chief, it has been confirmed that not only our country, but all the nuclear weapons of all countries have mysteriously failed not long ago. And, strangely enough, almost at the same time, all countries heard the announcement of that mysterious voice. The male assistant reported the results of his investigation. Well, I see. It seems that I guessed right at the beginning. The new world will eventually come, but I didn't expect it to be so soon. By the way, have you found the coordinates of that sound broadcast? The leader stood in front of the window with his hands behind his back, his eyes as deep and boundless as two abyss, making it impossible to look straight into the eyes. I found it. It's in the evergreen forest on the outskirts of P City. I've used the satellite to check it. But for some reason, that area is shrouded in a mysterious force and nothing can be seen. The assistant man frowned and said, as if he couldn't understand this phenomenon. Evergreen Forest. The chief groaned softly, and then said, "Isn't there a garrison there? Let them go and see what's going on." Yes. The assistant man nodded and slowly withdrew. Halfway through, he suddenly remembered something and turned around to ask, "Chief, should we reject the beautiful country's invitation this time?" The leader was silent for a moment, and suddenly two bright lights shot out from his eyes, and he said, "Punch away with one punch, to avoid hundreds of punches coming. The new world order needs to be rebuilt, and it's time for us to establish our authority in the world." The assistant man was stunned for a moment, then a look of excitement appeared on his face and he nodded quickly. "I know, let's get ready. The sleeping dragon is about to wake up." Game World. Jobin City, above the Jobin Forest. A red-haired man wearing a black robe was standing in the sky at this time, with his hands folded on his chest and looking down. And at his feet, there was a stupid fat dragon. Quasi-god. Kuailong. Strange, where are those guys from Team Rocket hiding? The red-haired man frowned and groaned, scanning below but found nothing. His name is Yulongdu, and he is a member of the Yulong family. He holds an important position in the Alliance and is a senior investigator. Of course, aside from these false reputations, he is still the league champion in the Chengdu region and one of the 4 heavenly kings in the Kanto region. No matter from every aspect, he is very dazzling. At this time, he was responsible for tracking down Team Rocket's theft of information from the Genetic Research Institute of Jobin City. However, according to the information he had, the last place where Team Rocket appeared should be in the Viridian Forest area. But what puzzled him was that after searching for a long time, he found nothing. It was as if the Rocket's guys disappeared out of thin air. "Let's go and see other places." Yulongdu murmured and prepared to leave here. But at this moment, Kuailong, who he was sitting on, suddenly screamed. "You mean there's something abnormal over there?" Yulongdu was startled and pointed at a certain location. As a descendant of the Yulong family, Yuryudu has the power to control dragons. He has a natural affinity for dragon Pokemon and can understand their emotions and thoughts. Therefore, once Kuailong has an idea, he will know it soon. "Ow!" Kuailong let out a soft roar and nodded. "Humph, are you hiding there? Come on, Kuailong, let's go take a look." Yulongdu snorted coldly and accelerated forward with Kuailong. Little did he know that the direction he was going was exactly where Area was. At this time, near Area, a group of men and horses dressed in strange clothes were sneakily approaching here. They were the members of Team Rocket that Yulongdu was looking for. "Captain, something is very wrong with the environment here. It seems to be shrouded in a mysterious force, and even the surrounding area is separated by an invisible force. Is there any danger here?" One of the Team Rocket members looked ahead and said worriedly. The captain of Team Rocket looked at the rippling passage ahead with his eyes half closed, not knowing what he was thinking. After a while, he seemed to have made up his mind and said, "No matter what, let's go in and take a look first. That guy from Yulongdu is looking for us. If he catches us, you should know what will happen." Thinking of the punishment they would face after being caught by Yulongdu, everyone in Team Rocket couldn't help but shudder. "Then let's hide here first. No matter what, it's better than being caught by Yulongdu," one of the Team Rocket members said, and the others nodded in agreement. Even the captain of Team Rocket nodded. "Well, let's go in first and talk about it. Let's go." After that, he took the lead and walked in. The other side. Somewhere in Area 6, Wang Mingzhang led his elves to conquer and level up wildly. At this moment, someone suddenly sent him a private message. Wang Ming opened it and couldn't help but be a little surprised. Hey, Brother 6, can you auction something for me? Players cannot turn on the auction function by themselves, they need to entrust Wang Ming to do it. This was originally designed by Wang Ming deliberately so that he could make more money and even make mistakes sometimes. Okay, but I'll charge you the handling fee. Is that okay? No problem. The other party is also very happy. Okay, then if you want to auction something, send it to me so I can give you an estimate. After a while, the other party sent a picture. Is a ring. It looks very exquisite and must have been made by a senior craftsman. Wang Ming didn't care much about the ring, but the gems inlaid on the ring made his eyes light up, his face flushed, and his breathing became rapid. That is no ordinary gem, but a super keystone. The super keystone itself is not very beautiful, but it has a very important function. That is, it can react with the super stone and allow the elves to achieve super evolution. In other words, this ring is actually a super evolution ring. And Wang Ming is just in need of this thing right now. With this thing, he can let Gardevoir undergo a super evolution. How about it, Brother 6, is this thing valuable? Seeing Wang Ming's delay in responding, the other party sent an inquiry message. Wang Ming took a deep breath, tried to calm down his mood, calmed himself down, and asked. Where did you get this ring? Oh, it didn't take much effort. I exchanged it with a child. The child had 7 or 8 on his hand at the time. I looked strange, so I exchanged it with him. Wang Ming almost spit out a mouthful of blood after hearing this. What family? The shot is 7 or 8 super evolution rings. Do you think it is a glass ball? I almost forgot. At that time, the kid said that his family specializes in this, and if I have good things in the future, I can exchange them with him. Suddenly, the other party seemed to have thought of something and sent another message. Only then did Wang Ming heave a sigh of relief. It turns out that this is what my family does. No wonder there are 7 or 8 of them in one shot. I guess the kid thinks it's fun, so he wears so many. After figuring this out, Wang Ming was no longer surprised. But curiosity was not suppressed. Can I ask, what did you exchange for him? The man chuckled and sent a blushing emoticon. Hey, I'm sorry to say it, but there are some action blockbusters from the island country that I have treasured for many years. Wang Ming really wanted to say, brother, can you give me a copy? But after thinking about it carefully, it seemed that I was not that kind of person, so I simply gave up the idea. I can help you auction this ring, but to be honest, it's really not worth much. It's just pretty, so it's okay to give it to a girl. If you auction it, you probably won't be able to sell it for a lot of money. How about you look at it like this? If you can find me, we are destined to be together. I'll just take the 3,000 alliance coins. What do you think? When the person on the other side heard this, he looked sad and unhappy. Brother 6, no need. I still want to put it up for auction, maybe someone who is not discerning will take a fancy to it. Wang Ming's mouth twitched slightly. Why did these words sound so awkward? But since the other party was unwilling, he had no choice but to auction it off. As for the price increase, it is impossible to increase the price. Once the price is increased, won't all his little thoughts be exposed? When the time comes, won't you be cast aside by thousands of people? No, absolutely not. People can be shady, but they have to do it in secret. Okay, the base price is 3,000, and each increase must not be less than 100. What do you think? Wang Ming sent another message to that person. Brother 6, let me add to this. I have collected all of my blockbusters for many years. They are of all types. If I only sell them for 3,000, isn't it a huge loss? The other side feels a little distressed. Then 5,000. Thank you Brother 6. After some conversation, Wang Ming posted an auction message. But before that, he first contacted Wang Mengmeng. Hey, help me bid for something later, and I'll transfer the money to you after that. Remember, no matter how much money you pay, you must take a photo. As for why he didn't bid on his own, of course I was afraid of being exposed. You said it was worthless, but you ended up bragging about spending money on it. Isn't that a slap in the face? Wang Mengmeng is also very generous and replies quickly. No problem, leave it to me. Thank you. Wang Ming thanked him and released the bidding information. Auction of a beautiful ring with a base price of 5,000 alliance coins. Each bid must not be less than 100. If you are interested, please start bidding. At first, there were not many bids. Because most of them don't know what it is. By the way, does anyone know what this is? A mere ring is sold alliance coins. Isn't this too shady? I don't know, but since you dare to bid 5,000, it shouldn't be an ordinary ring, right? Oh, people's hearts are separated from each other, it's hard to say. With player 6 a wicked character, what can't he do? In my opinion, this is just an ordinary ring, released specifically to deceive you guys. Although this person didn't speak nicely, Wang Ming really wanted him to say a few more words. After all, the more worthless the ring was, the better it would be to his advantage. But it's a pity that the guy stopped making any sound after firing. He was quite ruthless, which made Wang Ming very disappointed. But fortunately, the situation is still under control. Except for a few people bidding, most others are watching the whole process. And Wang Mengmeng was also very impressive, living up to expectations and taking the lead, steadily leading the way. It probably won't take more than a few more bids to get the ring. Seeing that the ring was about to arrive, Wang Ming became excited. My Gardevoir can finally super evolve. Hey, I wonder if Gardevoir will become bigger and whiter after the super evolution. If that's really the case. Sucking, Wang Ming wiped a handful of saliva, and his eyes began to shine. Men, it's nothing more than this little hobby. You might call it erotic, but it's not really that. It's just a simple yearning for beautiful things. Well, yes, that's it. However, at this moment, someone suddenly stepped in, causing Wang Ming's heart to thump, and a sense of crisis arose spontaneously. Everyone, I seem to recognize this ring. The gemstone set in the ring, if I guess correctly, should be a super keystone, a key item that allows elves to undergo super evolution. As soon as these words came out, the chat channel became lively again. But Wang Ming couldn't stop him from speaking. Because once speech is banned, it really means that there will be no more 300 taels of silver in this place. It is estimated that everyone started grabbing without saying anything. Super evolution. What it is, the man went on to explain. A special way of evolution can rapidly improve the strength of elves in a short period of time. So awesome. So how do you know this? When I first entered the game, I was working as a temporary worker in a library, reading books when I had nothing to do. I also saw the record of super evolution in that book. It is said that the emergence of super evolution is because. The man even began to explain the origin of super evolution. But unfortunately, no one listened to his story. Because, they have already started to join the bidding. Just kidding, props that allow elves to super evolve are absolutely priceless, okay. Let alone alliance coins, even that's definitely not a loss. Sure enough, what Wang Ming least wanted to see happened. It is not too late to mend the dead. Faced with an uncontrollable situation, Wang Ming was not discouraged. Live for duo, die for duo, and fight for duo all your life. In order for Gardevoir to evolve smoothly into Super Gardevoir, Wang Ming decisively contacted Wang Mengmeng again. Do you still have money? If it's not enough for me, I'll turn it over to you now. You must take off this ring. Wang Mengmeng also knew the importance of this ring from the chat channel just now, so she didn't dare to slack off at all and replied. I can raise the price up. If you think it's not enough, send me more. Wang Ming thought for a while and replied. I will give you another 100,000, and you must take it. Wang Mengmeng opened her mouth in shock. Are you so rich? Why, I'm jealous. Do you want to commit yourself to me? I went to bid. Wang Mengmeng simply replied and then fell silent. Wang Ming just made a joke and didn't put his mind on it. What he is more concerned about is who owns this super evolved ring. 30,000, 50,000, 60,000. Prices keep climbing, and fewer people are bidding. When the price climbed, only 2 people were still bidding. One is Wang Mengmeng, and the other is a guy whose ID is one day, one girl, who will never be the same again. You can tell from the name alone that that guy is definitely a rich man, and he probably buys alliance coins from others. 80,000. When Wang Mengmeng dared to bid this price, the other party finally fell silent. Will he still follow? Wang Ming's heart became nervous, and so did Wang Mengmang, a bitter. The entire chat channel fell into silence at this moment. After a moment, a mechanical voice sounded. Congratulations to the player Big Bad for winning this auction item. The final transaction price was Alliance coins. Wang Ming's heart also dropped. It's finally here. Soon, a message came from Wang Mengmang. I got it, can I transfer it to you now? Okay, I've sent it to you. After the bidding, there are still Alliance coins left, and they will all be transferred to you in one piece. Thank you, you really helped me a lot this time. Ha ha ha, how are you going to thank me? How about I treat you to grilled sausage, the big and long kind? The corn-flavored one I want to eat has to be smeared with honey. No problem. After finishing the chat, Wang Ming couldn't wait to take out the Super Evolution ring and put it on his hand. Then, he released Gardevoir and brought her the Super Stone. Would you like to shout a slogan first? Wang Ming thought for a moment. Many trainers in anime shout out an iconic slogan when they super evolve. Just forget it. Wang Ming gave up the idea. He felt that was too middle class and did not fit his image. Xanadu, Super Evolution. Wang Ming chose the simplest way. Shanae. A series of colorful beams of light shot out from the ring, turned into colorful chains, danced in the sky, and finally intertwined with each other, all converging in the super stone on Gardevoir's chest. Boom! The colorful divine light fully bloomed, like gorgeous fireworks, exploding into beautiful flowers and wrapping Gardevoir around them. After a few breaths, the seven-colored holy light dissipated, and a noble princess-like elf, wearing a black dress and short sky-blue hair, stood quietly in front of Wang Ming's eyes, like a white snow lotus. It emerges from the silt without being stained, and washes away the clear ripples without being stained. It is the Super Gardevoir that has achieved Super Evolution. Incomparably beautiful, with a hint of coldness and holiness in her nobility, making people unable to think of any blasphemy. Wang Ming looked at the Super Gardevoir in front of him, his mouth wide open and his eyes straight. Is this still the little guy who was carrying a small package and wanted to go away to a foreign country with him? The change is too big, right? Wang Ming couldn't bear to let go of any inch and looked at Super Gardevoir carefully. Super Gardevoir felt Wang Ming's eyes, and his face couldn't help but blush, and he lowered his head slightly. It seems to be saying, Master, please give NATO your orders. When Wang Ming's eyes fell on the two towering snow peaks on the chest of Super Gardevoir, he couldn't help but blush, and a stream of heat flowed down his nostrils and suddenly spurted out. Hey, it's so big and white. I really want to try it out. Wang Ming quickly covered his nose, not wanting to lose his composure in front of Super Gardevoir. As he expected, the sacred area where Sans Super NATO became larger and whiter again. Just like two white steamed buns, exuding an alluring aroma, people can't help but want to take a few bites. Although I haven't tasted it myself, I think it must be sweet. Wang Ming then looked down. The breeze blew up her long skirt, and a large expanse of white snow loomed. White, thin and long. One word speaks volumes. With these legs, he can play for a year. Reluctantly looking away, Wang Ming noticed the shy look of Super Gardevoir and couldn't help but feel a little embarrassed, thinking of saying something to ease the awkward atmosphere. But at this moment, a group of people suddenly broke in and appeared in front of him. Wang Ming was stunned for a moment, a little confused. The other party was also stunned and a little confused. They specifically choose places with few people to go to, so how can they still meet people? Is this unscientific? Wang Ming was equally puzzled. I've already come to such a remote place, how can you still break in? Even if you say you are not following me, I don't even believe it. But when he noticed the clothes of this group of people, Wang Ming's face suddenly darkened. Team Rocket. These people are wearing the standard Rocket's uniforms. Boss, what should I do? What else can we do? Kill him and silence him. Two of the Rockets had a few words. The captain of Team Rocket did not speak, but looked at Super Gardevoir not far away from Wang Ming. He was not sure whether this Super Gardevoir belonged to the boy in front of him. If so, then things are not simple. Wow, it's Super Gardevoir. This is a super rare elf. Let's capture it quickly. We will definitely get the reward from above. Some Team Rocket members also noticed the existence of Super Gardevoir and spoke excitedly. It's like catching your mother. That's my. Wang Ming immediately greeted the other party's mother. He brazenly said that he wanted to capture Super Gardevoir in front of him, which showed that he didn't take himself seriously at all. In this case, there is no need for him to be polite. Are you Wang Ming? At this moment, the captain of Team Rocket suddenly spoke, looking at Wang Ming and said. Wang Ming raised his eyebrows and said in surprise, "Do you know me?" The captain of Team Rocket sneered, "Of course, you are the most wanted target of our Team Rocket. Because of you, our plan has been hindered, and I have also been punished. Do you think I cannot recognize you?" The Rocket's captain almost said this last sentence through gritted teeth, which clearly shows his hatred for Wang Ming. "Hey, it seems we are old enemies." Wang Ming sneered and his expression gradually became serious. "If that's the case, then there's no room for maneuver. What do you think?" The Team Rocket captain had a grim smile on his face. Regardless of whether that Super Gardevoir belongs to Wang Ming or not, today's battle is inevitable. Clap clap clap. Since the battle was unavoidable, Wang Ming didn't waste any time and directly released all the elves. Gengar, Mantis, and Mewtwo. The moment Mewtwo came out, a layer of gloom could not help but rise on the face of Team Rocket captain. He felt a very dangerous aura on Cheomung's body, which was stronger than the feeling given to him by Gardevoir. This kid is pretending to be a pig and eating the tiger. The Team Rocket captain couldn't help but curse in his mind. But now that the arrow is on the string, he has to shoot it, and there is no room for him to go back on his word. Run. Whoever runs will die. The only way to fight is waiting for them. Let's all do it together. The captain of Team Rocket shouted loudly, his expression extremely ferocious. Come out, Gas Bomb. Come out, Aberdeen. Come out, dumbass. Everyone released their elves almost at the same time. The captain of Team Rocket is no exception and has revealed his most powerful trump card. Heluga, elf. Heluga, gender, male, qualification, purple. Level, 50. Attribute, evil plus fire. Feature, wake up early. Even if you fall asleep, you can wake up twice as fast as early as possible. Hidden feature, none. Carried items, leftovers. After being carried, the Pokémon can recover 1/16 of its maximum blood volume each round. Skills, stare, sparks, mist, long howl, trickery, thunderfang, roar, bite, scent detection, siege, flame fang, surprise blow, seize, deception, jet flame. Hereditary skill, resurrection. Skills acquired, substitute, sleeping. Wang Ming looked at the information about the Black Ruga in front of him, and couldn't help but show a hint of admiration in his eyes. The ability to get up early coupled with sleeping is a perfect match. Even if you can't kill the opponent, you can still discuss the opponent to death. It seems that the strength of the captain of Team Rocket cannot be underestimated. And there is also a genetic ability to bring the dead back to life. If I am not careful, I may capsize in the gutter, so I have to be more careful. Wang Ming's eyes gradually narrowed to a slit, and then suddenly burst out and issued an order to his elves. Gardevoir, Gengar and Giant Claw Mantis, you go deal with the others. Mewtwo, come with me to deal with this Black Luga. Crack, Shanae, Gengar, Giant Claw Mantis, Super Gardevoir and Gengar nodded in response and killed the other members of Team Rocket. Cheomung floated in the air and silently came to Wang Ming's side. Mewtwo, use Miracle Eye. Wang Ming ordered Cheomung. Normally, evil elves are immune to superpower attacks. In other words, most of Mewtwo's attacks are ineffective against Hyluga. This is also a very embarrassing thing for superpower elves when facing evil elves. But fortunately, Miracle Eyes can break this embarrassing situation. After using the Eye of Miracle, superpower moves can cause damage to evil elves and will not be evaded. It was precisely because of this reason that Wang Ming chose to let Cheomung use the Eye of Miracle immediately. Haha, a superpower elf. You're going to be in trouble now. My Hyluga has killed countless super-powered elves. Today, you will be no exception. The Team Rocket leader sneered. Although he didn't know Wang Ming's elf, he could tell the attributes of his elf from the moves Wang Ming used. Hyluga, first use trickery to increase your attack power, and then use deception to give your opponent the finishing blow. The captain of Team Rocket has a very clear mind and intends to use the most direct method to end the battle quickly. They are still being traced. If too much movement attracts Yulongdu's attention, they will not be able to escape even if they want to. Therefore, quickly resolving the battle at hand and leaving here is the most important thing now. Coincidentally, Wang Ming thought so too. Cheomeng's appearance must not be seen by others, otherwise it will cause him great trouble. And their fight here is likely to attract the attention of others. Therefore, in order to prevent others from discovering the existence of Mewtwo, he must end the battle before others find this place. Cheomeng, don't let him increase his power so easily and use all things disillusionment. Disillusionment is a skill created by Wang Ming, and it is also a very powerful move. When the words fell, the battle began. There were ripples in space, and sharp swords condensed with superpower were suspended above Hyluga's head. Whoosh whoosh. The next moment, it fell like a downpour. What kind of skill is this? The captain of Team Rocket's expression changed drastically. He had never seen such a strange skill before. Whether it is the casting speed or the power of the skills, they are all very abnormal and difficult to guard against. Hey Lugia, get out of the way. The captain of Team Rocket yelled hurriedly after reacting. Hyluga let out an angry roar, but it was of no avail. After all, he took a step slower and was overwhelmed by the sharp sword. Use a stand-in. The captain of Team Rocket looked ferocious, and his fists clenched. As a last resort, Hey Lugia could only use a substitute to resist the damage. Under the attack of countless sword shadows, Hyluga managed to create an awakened substitute at the cost of consuming his own blood. The awakening of the substitute is also very powerful, and it lives up to expectations and attracts a lot of damage to Hyluga. Just like that, Hyluga saw the right moment and jumped to escape from the sword rain. But there were scars all over his body, and he was breathing heavily, looking very embarrassed. The captain of Team Rocket saw that Hyluga suffered a secret loss as soon as he came up, became embarrassed, and his face gradually became gloomy. You cunning little devil, you dare to trick me, I will make you pay the price. Hyluga, use a surprise attack. Hyluga suddenly accelerated and disappeared on the spot, heading straight for Cheomeng, with powerful evil energy in his mouth, as if he wanted to give Cheomeng a fatal blow. Don't let it get close, keep using disillusionment. Wang Ming then ordered. The power of disillusionment was beyond his imagination and made him excited. At this moment, Cheomeng seemed to have sensed the skill of disillusionment, and his eyes began to emit dark purple energy fluctuations. Terrifying superpowers continued to gather in his body, lingering around him. And as his fingers danced, the majestic superpower in his body was also drawn out, all transformed into sharp swords. There was a slight tremor, and ripples suddenly appeared around Hyluga. This time, the ripples not only appeared in one direction, but in all directions, surrounding Hyluga, leaving no possibility of escape. Boom! Next moment, tens of thousands of sharp swords transformed from superpowers came from all directions, all shooting at Hyluga. Stab it! Hyluga's body was cut and pierced by sharp swords, and blood flowed out of his body desperately like a bursting ocean. In the blink of an eye, Hyluga was shot into a sieve and lost the breath of life. When the captain of Team Rocket saw this scene, he froze on the spot, as if he had lost his soul. He never thought that the partner who had accompanied it through countless battles and killed countless enemies would actually die in the hands of an unknown elf. He doesn't even have the ability to resist. Even Wang Ming was a little surprised. He didn't expect that the power of disillusionment displayed by Cheomeng this time would be so great, completely beyond his expectation. Is it because of Cheomeng himself that the power of his moves has changed? Wang Ming had a guess. This speculation is very possible, but it cannot be confirmed yet. At this moment, a voice suddenly appeared in Wang Ming's ears, solving his doubts. Ding! Congratulations to the host, your elf Mewtwo has resonated with the skill Vientiane Disillusionment, improving the quality of Vientiane Disillusionment. The basic power of Vientiane Disillusionment has been improved, and the basic effect has been improved. Wang Ming was stunned at first, then became ecstatic inside. I was just wondering why the power of disillusionment suddenly became stronger. It turns out that this is the reason. I wonder how powerful this improvement will be in disillusioning everything, and what kind of effect it will have. With curiosity and expectation, Wang Ming couldn't wait to look at Cheomeng. Suddenly, information about Mewtwo's skills appeared in front of him. Skill name: all things are disillusioned. Skill power: 120. Skill description. Use powerful superpower to condense thousands of swords and shoot them at the opponent, causing high special damage to the enemy. The number of condensed swords is related to the user's own strength. The stronger the strength, the greater the number, and swords can be summoned from multiple directions at the same time. Special effect. After the skill hits, there is a certain probability that the opponent will fall into a bleeding state, losing 1/8 of one's maximum health each round. Skill range. All. The improvement effect is still very obvious. The power has been directly increased from 90 to 102, which can be regarded as entering the ranks of ultimate moves. Moreover, it can also summon swords from multiple directions at the same time. This simply leaves no way for the enemy to survive. Wang Ming looked at the changes in new skills and couldn't help but sigh. Previously, Disillusionment could only summon a sword from a single direction to attack the opponent, and could not summon it from multiple directions at the same time. This also means that when the enemy faces this move, if he is fast enough, there is a high probability that he can avoid it. But now after the upgrade, the effect is very abnormal. Swords can be summoned from multiple directions at the same time, making the enemy defenseless and leaving no room for resistance. Just like the Hyluga from before, after being surrounded by all disillusionment, he could no longer move. After recovering from the surprise, Wang Ming withdrew his gaze and looked at Team Rocket not far away. At this time, the battle on Super Gardevoir's side had also ended. A group of Team Rocket members were huddled together in embarrassment, surrounded by 3 elves, and did not dare to make any more rash moves. The captain of Team Rocket was frozen in place, as if he hadn't recovered from the shock. At this time, Wang Ming's face turned cold, his heart became cruel, and he ordered Cheomeng, kill him. However, just when the word, "we," was about to blurt out, Wang Ming suddenly felt a strong wind blowing from a distance. Someone is coming. Wang Ming raised his head and stared at the distant sky, and saw a dragon-shaped elf flying towards here at great speed. There was also a person standing on its back, with long fiery red hair that was unusually dazzling. Wang Ming squinted his eyes and couldn't see the man's face clearly, but he always felt like he had seen him before. Mewtwo, erase all the memories they had just now, and then quickly return to the Pokeball. Don't let others discover your existence. Wang Ming blurted out quickly. After all, his battle with Team Rocket attracted outsiders. Now it is too late for those who want to deal with Team Rocket, and they are likely to be discovered by others. By then, both the laws of the real world and the laws of the Pokemon world will be enough for him to drink. Therefore, he could only give up killing people and silence them, and chose to erase the memories of everyone on Team Rocket. Fortunately, Mewtwo is very good at this kind of thing, and he finished it in a short time and returned to the Elf Ball. You all come back too. Wang Ming put Gengar and Giant Claw Mantis into the Pokeball, leaving only Super Gardevoir beside him. Not long after, the appearance of the dragon-shaped elf in the sky clearly appeared in Wang Ming's field of vision. It's a fast dragon, commonly known as Fatty. A true quasi-god level elf, it is very powerful. With its diverse skills and rich attack surface, even some mythical beasts are not enough in front of it. The red-haired man standing on Kuailong was also clearly visible to Wang Ming. It was none other than Yulongdu, one of the 4 heavenly kings of Kanto. I didn't expect him to be here. Why does he look so familiar? Yulongdu is a well-known figure in the Pokemon world, and is second to none in terms of strength and charm. As a fan of Pokemon, Wang Ming naturally couldn't help but know him. Soon, Yulongdu landed here. When he saw the mess on the ground and the pits filled with traces of battle, he couldn't help but feel a trace of astonishment in his eyes. From the traces of battle around him, he could deduce that a very tragic battle had occurred here not long ago. And the reason why he came here was precisely because he felt the volatile atmosphere of the war. However, what he didn't expect was that one of the protagonists of this battle turned out to be a boy who looked to be no more than 17 or 18 years old. Yulongdu did not speak immediately, but looked at the members of Team Rocket who fell on the ground not far away. That was the prisoner he was looking for. Were you killed? Yulongdu asked, his expression very serious. No, I just knocked them out. Wang Ming replied neither humble nor arrogantly. Just kidding, killing someone in front of Yulongdu is not asking for punishment. Hearing this, Yulongdu breathed a sigh of relief. That's fine, As long as you don't die. At your current age, it's already pretty good to be able to defeat so many members of Team Rocket. Even if I were your age, I might not have the strength you have now. Yulongdu glanced at the super Gardevoir next to Wang Ming, with a hint of imperceptible surprise in his eyes, and spoke in appreciation. In Wang Ming, he seemed to see himself when he was young. However, the strength shown by Wang Ming now is obviously stronger than that of him at that time. Strong people always show sympathy to each other, especially for someone like him who is proud of his talent. Wang Ming smiled sheepishly. Without the help of the system, he would never be as strong as he is today. These people are the ones I am tracking. You have done me a big favor by stopping them. Let's do this. Even if I owe you a favor today, if you have any difficulties in the future, you can come to me in the Elf Alliance, but I want to take these people away. What do you think? Yulongdu is a very sensible person. He will not bully the weak, nor will he take advantage of others. Wang Ming's eyes lit up. If you can trade a bunch of useless Team Rocket members for a favor from Yulongdu, that's definitely a surefire deal. Almost without any thought, Wang Ming agreed without hesitation. Haha, okay, here is my business card. If you need anything, you can contact me at any time. Yulongdu handed Wang Ming a personal business card, and then walked to the rocket team, preparing to take them back. At this moment, his eyes suddenly noticed Hyluga's body on the ground. Wang Ming's heart suddenly thumped, and he secretly thought something was wrong. Oops, I forgot to dispose of Hyluga's body. Wang Ming's heart suddenly became tense. Yulongdu seemed to have noticed something unusual about Hyluga's body, and he couldn't help but frown slightly. This wound doesn't look like it was caused by Super Gardevoir's attack, but more like a sharp sword piercing the body. Could it be that kid is hiding some secret? Yulongdu turned back and glanced at Wang Ming. Wang Ming was extremely nervous at this time, and his hands involuntarily touched his waist. That's all, everyone has their own secrets, so why should I pursue them so hard? Yulongdu laughed at himself, as if he thought of something and did not pursue the matter further. Boy, when you do things in the future, remember to do them cleanly. After leaving a meaningful word, Yulongdu left with the rockets. Wang Ming looked at Yulongdu's retreating figure and couldn't help but breathe a sigh of relief. Finally gone. But he was still discovered. Wang Ming smiled bitterly. He is not stupid, he naturally knows what Yulongdu's last words mean. What puzzled him was that Yulongdu didn't go into details. Could it be that they felt sympathy for each other because they saw that he was so awesome and brought down the rockets? Well, not impossible. With this thought in mind, Wang Ming started another day of training. After all, no matter how awesome a person is, they still need to work hard. At night, the stars are shining. It's a nice weather. Wang Ming returned home and was about to lie on the bed and relax by playing Ludo with Gardevoir. But at this moment, the phone's ringtone suddenly rang. I looked down and saw the exclusive phone number of the National Security Bureau. Wang Ming couldn't help but wonder, I haven't committed any crime, why are people from the National Security Bureau calling me? With doubts, Wang Ming answered the phone. Soon, a sweet girlish voice came from the other side of the phone. Hello, is this Mr. Wang Ming? Yes you are. Oh, that's right, we are. The other person chattered a lot, but fortunately Wang Ming was smart enough to understand the other person's intention easily. Very simple. Due to the emergence of Pokemon, the world has ushered in a new pattern. In order to cope with the new situation, various countries jointly established a World Trainer Exchange competition. Of course, it goes without saying that the founder is from a beautiful country that likes to stir up shit when nothing happens. In order to highlight the international image and at the same time fire the first shot before the arrival of the new world, Long Guo agreed to the invitation and prepared to select 6 people to participate. Based on the information submitted at the time and official information, they finally selected 12 personnel as training targets. Then, after many rounds of screening, the number of entries is finally determined. Fortunately, Wang Ming is one of them. Can I choose to refuse? To be honest, Wang Ming didn't want to participate in this kind of competition. First, it's really not interesting. If you have time to compete, you might as well go to area to practice more. Maybe you can pick up some good treasure chests if you are lucky. Of course, the main reason is that he is too strong and is not at the same level as others. If he were to participate in the competition, it would be purely to abuse the food. Not only is it boring, it also doesn't give you any sense of vanity. We respect the rights of every citizen, but we still hope you can come and participate. Moreover, this competition also has generous rewards. The young lady on the phone was very persuasive and obviously didn't want to let go of Wang Ming's fat piece of meat. Because, according to their investigation, Wang Ming was player number 1 among the first batch of players, known as number 1 among the players. There is no doubt about the strength. If Wang Ming can participate in the competition, then their Dragon Kingdom will definitely show off their glory in the exchange competition. It's a pity that Wang Ming has no interest in the rewards mentioned by the young lady. It's not that he is a big talker, but the reward is really hard to describe. It's nothing more than some elf balls, alliance coins and some money. These are all things that he can easily obtain. Wang Ming was still prepared to refuse. At this moment, Tiandao's voice suddenly sounded. Congratulations on triggering the fusion mission. Mission goal: participate in the World Trainer Exchange competition and lead the Dragon Kingdom to successfully win No. 1. Task time limit: 5 days. Task reward: Advanced Elf Horn. Elf Horn, a one-time prop. When blown, it can summon nearby quasi-god elves to appear. Tiandao has released a fusion mission. And look at the reward. It's so nice. A smile appeared on Wang Ming's face. He was very concerned about the role of the High Elf Horn. Summons nearby quasi-gods. In other words, once the horn is blown, he can cause nearby quasi-gods to appear. When the time comes, if he waits for an opportunity and throws out the elf ball to catch it, won't the quasi-god get it? Thinking of this, Wang Ming gradually became excited. This reward is much richer than the rewards given by the competition. In order to defend the dignity of the country, Wang Ming resolutely decided to participate in the competition and severely defeated trainers from other countries. I agree. When will we leave? Wang Ming suddenly replied, making the young lady opposite him confused. What's the situation? Weren't you unwilling just now? I was almost ready to use the seduction technique, but you suddenly agreed. I don't understand, but the ending is very satisfying. Okay, we will remember your great contribution to the country. A special car will pick you up at your home at 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. You just need to wait patiently. Wang Ming nodded. Okay, at least the service is pretty good. Okay, bye, I wish you a sweet dream tonight. After hanging up the phone, Wang Ming had no intention of playing Ludo anymore. He simply fell down and fell asleep. Gardevoir was in a daze, not knowing whether to continue sitting or return to the elf ball. But at this moment, Wang Ming suddenly opened his eyes again and pulled Gardevoir into his arms. What are you thinking about? Sleep with me. Then, Wang Ming and Gardevoir fell asleep together. Night, very quiet. Dreams are beautiful. Sometimes, it's that simple for a trainer to enhance the relationship with his elf. Just get some sleep. If that doesn't work, get a couple of naps. As the saying goes, love grows over time. If things continue like this, how bad will the love be? The next day, when Wang Ming first got up, he found that Gardevoir had slipped back into the elf ball at some point. This little girl is so shy. Really, imagine who I am. I don't know how to use my hands or feet. I can only pinch it twice to test the feel. Wang Ming muttered a few words to himself, then got up and washed up. After having breakfast, not long after waiting, a field military vehicle parked in front of his house. Hello, Mr. Wang Ming, we are from the National Security Bureau and are here to take you to the training base. A soldier with a Chinese-style face stepped out of the car and said with a serious smile. Let's go, I've been waiting for you for a long time. Wang Ming turned around and entered the military vehicle. This was the first time in his life that he was riding in a military vehicle. He couldn't help but feel a little curious. He looked around for a while and tried the feel again. Although it's not very comfortable, it feels very safe. Hello, let me meet you. I am Yan Kashin, the commander of this temporary training. Speaking of which, you should have heard my name. I called you yesterday. In the car, Yan Kashin said hello to Wang Ming with a charming smile on her face. Yan Kashin is wearing a tight casual white shirt, and her hot figure is vividly outlined, making her very attractive. especially the big white rabbit on the chest, which is almost ready to be seen. At first glance, it seems to be bigger than Wang Mengmeng's. Oval face, jewel eyes, willow eyebrows, cherry mouth. 3 of his crystal teeth were exposed, shining with pure white light. Such a perfect woman, it's hard not to have daydreams about her. But Wang Ming is not a vulgar person. He just took one look and lost interest in appreciating it. He turned his head slightly to one side, wiped his fingers under his nose involuntarily, and murmured something in his mouth. Hello. The atmosphere was a bit awkward, and people in the car chatted a few words from time to time to lighten the atmosphere. The car drove very fast, and after about 2 hours, it drove into a base. We're here, get out of the car. After getting out of the car, everyone walked all the way to an empty indoor venue. At this time, about 10 people were already sitting in the venue. Seeing Yan Kexin coming with another young man, they all turned their attention to Wang Ming. Who is this guy? Could he be the legendary player 6? It's not like that. Judging from how he looks like that, he's probably just a pretty boy who's being kept. He's probably just lucky enough to be able to get in here. His strength is probably as weak as his kidneys. I don't think so. He has a very special aura. Maybe he is a guy who pretends to be a pig and eats the tiger. TCH, don't think too highly of him. A phantom is a phantom. What excuse are you making? A group of people were discussing in low voices. Seeing Wang Ming and Yan Kexin walking over, they all shut up again, with approachable smiles on their faces. Welcome. Come, my friend, sit here. Someone greeted Wang Ming warmly and invited him to take a seat. Thank you. Wang Ming was not polite and sat down on the spot. As soon as I sat down, another person came over. Like them, he looks like a student. At this moment, Yan Kexin suddenly said, Okay, since everyone is here, let's get to know each other briefly. I won't say much more. You must have known me to some degree or another before. Now, let me give a brief introduction to each of you based on the information I have at hand, so that you can get to know each other. Speaking of this, everyone's faces showed pride, as if they were waiting for praise. Only Wang Ming looked depressed. I really don't want to show off, why can't I always hide away? Wang Ming was very depressed. He was sure that when his identity was exposed, other people's eyes would be cast on him without hesitation. As for how much admiration, envy, and disdain and jealousy there is, it is unknown. Zhou Dao, male, 16 years old, player number 9527, holds the elves Fire Dinosaur and Bad Butterfly. Wang Bin, male, 18 years old, player number 14138, holding elves as Big Sting Bee and BB Bird. Pan Joden, male, 15 years old, player number 666, holding the elf Pikachu. Fang Yuren, female, 16 years old, player number 520, holds the elf Ice Eevee. Yan Kexin read several names in succession, and almost everyone whose names were read had a look of pride on their faces. It seems to be saying, did you hear me? Do you have a dick? Come on down and lick it. Wang Ming didn't pay much attention to the others. Although his strength was relatively good, he couldn't catch his eye. But it was this person named Fang Yuren who made Wang Ming look at him with admiration. Ice-type elves generally only live in specific areas, and are rare in ordinary places. Especially Ice Eevee, which is even more unavailable to ordinary people. Fang Yuren was able to get Bingyiboo as her elf, which shows that she is not simple. Moreover, Wang Ming also discovered that even when Fang Yuren heard Yan Kexin reciting her name, her face was always as calm as usual, without any waves. This Xingxing alone is beyond the comparison of ordinary people. It seems that these people are not all mediocre. Wang Ming smiled and murmured. But at this moment, Yan Kexin suddenly looked at him, with a sly smile on his face. Wang Ming, male, player number. At this point, Yan Kexin paused deliberately, and then continued, 6. When the syllable 6 floated into everyone's ears, everyone couldn't help but be stunned. 6. Wait, he is player 6. What? He is actually player 6. Impossible, this is absolutely impossible, how can he be player 6? Player number 6, who is known as the strongest player, is sitting next to me. HMPH. So what about player number 6? The title of the strongest player is not sealed, but earned by one's own fighting. Even if he is player number 6, I will not be worse than him. Haha, a mere player 6 dares to claim to be the strongest player. I am player number 1. I can hold him down, and my strength is the same. Just wait, after today, the title of the strongest player will be mine. Envy, jealousy, dissatisfaction, ridicule. Various emotions mixed together, making the surrounding air uneasy. Even Fang Yuan, who had kept a calm expression before, could not help but have a trace of surprise on his face, and looked at Wang Ming in surprise. As if to say, so player number 6 looks like this. In response to everyone's reaction, Wang Ming just spread his hands. As if to say, calm down, don't be so surprised, being the strongest player is just a false name. I'm only so much better than you. However, everyone naturally did not know what Wang Ming was thinking, let alone care. The only thing they care about is how to take back the title of the strongest player from Wang Ming. Seeing that the atmosphere was a little tense, Yan Kexin coughed dryly, and then said, everyone, since you have been selected to come here, it is enough to prove your excellence. As for the false reputations rumored by the outside world, there is no need to pay too much attention. Wang Ming nodded in agreement. The big boys stared at him, really panicking. Everyone probably realized something was wrong and gradually withdrew their gaze. Yan Kexin breathed a sigh of relief when he saw this, and then introduced the remaining people. 10 minutes later, everyone has been introduced. Everyone has a simple understanding of each other. At this moment, Yan Kexin spoke again. Everyone, please allow me to introduce the rules of this competition. This competition is scheduled to be held in 3 days. There are 3 participating countries. One is the beautiful country, one is the cherry blossom country, and the other one is our dragon country. Each country has 6 participants, which means half of you will be eliminated after the first day of training. Speaking of this, Yan Kexin paused deliberately. And everyone started talking in unison. The elimination rate is 50.00%. I promised my girlfriend before I came here that I would definitely be able to participate in the competition. If I fail, it will be embarrassing for Dafa. What a coincidence, I told my girlfriend the same thing. That's really fate. By the way, what's your girlfriend's name? Bai Jia. My girlfriend's name is Bai Jia too. However, there are also people who hold their necks high and are very confident, as if they will never be eliminated. Some people even turned to look at Wang Ming, their eyes full of provocation. Wang Ming was naturally too lazy to pay attention to those idiots. He simply closed his eyes out of sight and out of mind. When the other party saw that Wang Ming dared to ignore him, he immediately became angry. His fists clenched and he wished he could fight Wang Ming for 300 rounds now. Just wait, I will defeat you in front of everyone later. While everyone was discussing, Fang Yuan suddenly asked, can you tell me the rules of the game? Fang Yuan's voice was cold, a bit like an iceberg beauty. Yan Kexin nodded and said, this exchange competition is divided into 3 major games. The competition format is a best of 3 games system. As long as you can win the first place in the 2 major games, you can ensure the championship status. How do these 3 major games compare? Fang Yuan asked next. Yan Kexin replied, the first round is a single-player round-robin match. Each team has a total of 6 people. Each time one person can be sent to fight. The loser will be dismissed. The winner can choose to continue fighting or be dismissed. The cycle continues in sequence. The game is not over until all 6 players on one side are defeated. The second major game is a doubles format. Each team is divided into 3 groups of 2 for doubles. The competition format is still a best of 3 games system. The third game is simple, but it is also the most intense. It is a team battle. As the name suggests, 6 people play at the same time for a big brawl. Whichever side's elves fight to the end will be the winner. Everyone fell silent as they were thoughtful. Wang Ming murmured quietly from the side. I only need to win 2 of the 3 major matches. In the singles match, with my strength, it is not a problem to wear 6. I can ensure victory in this match. In the doubles match, I can guarantee that I will not lose in that match, but in other matches it's hard to say. For the 2 games, I'm not sure I can win this one. Looking at it this way, we can only place our hopes on the third team competition. A big fight, I like it. Even if it's against 6 people, I should be able to win. After a brief thought, Wang Ming was basically sure that he could successfully win the game, and his whole body relaxed. Yan Kexin continued to introduce. Therefore, according to the events and progress of the competition, we have formulated a targeted training plan for you. The first day, that is, today, there will be individual training. After the training, there will be a ranking test. The top 6 people with test scores will represent the Dragon Kingdom in this exchange competition. As for the next 6, tonight someone will take you home later. The next day, you will have a 2-person training. You need to choose your teammates, and then cultivate a tacit understanding between each other, and strive to achieve the effect of 1 + 1 being greater than 2. On the third day, there will be team training, which is what we often call a big brawl. After the introduction, Yan Kexin gave everyone a certain buffer time. Wang Ming looked relaxed and didn't have much interest in the so-called training. The others were different, with more or less worried looks on their faces. If they can't pass the first day's test, it goes without saying that they won't be able to do the rest. Now, their biggest worry is how to get into the top 6 on the first day of testing. Okay, do you have any questions? You can ask them now. Yan Kexin glanced at everyone one by one, with a sweet smile on her face, and asked. After a while, someone stood up and asked, Sister Yan, how do we train? Yan Kexin smiled lightly and explained. The country has specially developed a virtual battle platform for you to use. You can fight against simulated elves on the virtual battle platform. Of course, you can also choose to compete with your companions. After all, the simulated elves are still a little different from the real elves when fighting. Everyone's faces showed surprise, because this is the first time they have heard of such a thing as a simulated battle platform. Even Wang Ming was a little curious and couldn't help but want to try the simulated battle platform. The simulated battle platform is right there. You can go in and experience it yourself. Yan Kexin pointed to a technology warehouse in the distance and said. There are a total of 6 technology warehouses there, which means that up to 6 people can engage in simulated battles at one time. Wang Ming was very curious about the simulated battle and planned to go over and give it a try. But at this moment, a young man suddenly ran out from the crowd, took a long stride, and stopped in front of him, with a joking look on his face. Hey, isn't this player number 6? I heard that you are very cool. Why don't you fight me? The person who spoke was Zhou Dao. Yan Kexin had introduced him before, and Wang Ming had some impression of him. When the others saw someone making things difficult for Wang Ming, they all gathered around as if they were watching a show. There are even people who are watching the excitement and don't mind the matter, shouting, Hey, isn't this our famous player number 6? You are known as the strongest player, you won't dare to challenge, right? No one really thinks that the strongest player is the most powerful, right? In my opinion, he is probably just a strong-willed guy. The one shouting on the side was Wang Bin. When Yan Kexin introduced him, he was right below Zhou Dao. Wang Ming remembered it very clearly. Arrogant, domineering, and extremely sarcastic. Faced with such unpleasant slander, even the spectators could not help but frown, but no one stood up and said a word. Even Yan Kexin didn't speak out at this time, wanting to see how Wang Ming planned to deal with other people's provocation. The person with the most personality on the field is none other than Fang Yuren. Faced with this dramatic scene, she didn't even look at it and walked straight towards the technology warehouse. It was as if everything that happened here had nothing to do with her. At this time, Pan Zuden also stood up and wanted to step on him. After all, Wang Ming is known as the strongest player. Regardless of whether he has this strength or not, his reputation is there. If you can step on it, it will be absolutely wonderful. That's right, if you have the guts to show off with us, don't just keep occupying the latrine without shit. Whatever the strongest player is, let's call him the worst player. Faced with the clamor of the crowd, Wang Ming just glanced at the crowd and uttered a sentence slowly. What's your dog's name? After saying that, he suddenly raised his head and looked directly at everyone, with a cold light flashing in his eyes. The powerful momentum made the 3 of them take a step back involuntarily. It's such a strong momentum, it looks like my little brother is going to get angry. Feeling the aura emanating from Wang Ming, Yan Kexin's eyes narrowed to a slit. Zhou Dao and others also trembled, with a trace of fear deep in their hearts, as if they were a little afraid of Wang Ming. HMPH. What are you afraid of? They all entered the game world on the same day, can he still cheat? Zhou Dao snorted coldly, cheered himself up, took a step forward, and puffed out his chest. When Wang Bin and Pan Zhouden saw this, they felt that they could not weaken Zhou Dao, so they also took a step forward and faced Wang Ming directly. Wang Ming glanced at the three of them coldly, sneered and said, "You three losers, don't say I won't give you a chance, come on together, so as not to waste my time. Solving the problem once and for all is the best way to solve the problem. Insanity. You just entered the game world with us, what qualifications do you have to challenge the three of us? That's right, in all my life, I have never seen anyone as arrogant as you." The three people became angry and yelled, "Go together." Wang Ming obviously doesn't take them seriously. Even Yan Kexin couldn't help but frown, feeling that Wang Ming was a little over the top. Although Wang Ming is called the strongest player, as Zhou Dao said, they all entered the game world on the same day. Even if Wang Ming is strong, how strong can he be? One hits three. Not very realistic. Yan Kexin was moved and wanted to stop this farce. Wait a minute, you guys. But at this moment, Wang Ming suddenly glared at her and forced her to swallow the rest of her words. To shut up, Wang Ming scolded unceremoniously. You didn't stop them when they were yelling at me, and now it's my turn to teach them a lesson, so your conscience shows up. Can you please get out of my way? Yan Kexin felt a little wronged. She obviously just wanted to help Wang Ming and didn't want Wang Ming to suffer. Why was she disgusted by Wang Ming instead? Moreover, Wang Ming actually scolded her just now. This made her very uncomfortable. In all her life, she has never been scolded. The others were also in a daze, looking at Wang Ming with a hint of admiration in their eyes. Brother, you are awesome, even the commander dares to scold you. Then, Wang Ming looked at Zhou Dao and the others, and regardless of what they thought, he directly released the giant pincer mantis. The current giant pincer mantis has reached level 38 and is simply not something that these little cubs can compete with. One person is enough to challenge them all. Seeing that Wang Ming released his elves without hesitation, Zhou Dao and the other three looked at each other, nodded in unison, and released their elves one after another. Come out, Pikachu. Come out, Fire Dinosaur. Come out, BB Bird. 3 elves appeared simultaneously. Wang Ming sneered, and without any nonsense, he directly ordered the giant pincer mantis, use continuous slashes to deal with them. Crack. The giant pincer mantis turned into a red light and disappeared on the spot, then rushed out. The expressions of the 3 people changed greatly. They did not expect that the speed of the giant pincer mantis was so fast, just like lightning, it disappeared in an instant. Fire Dinosaur, run away. After reacting, Zhou Dao hurriedly reminded him. The first target of the giant pincer mantis is the Fire Dinosaur. Among the 3 elves, the Fire Dinosaur posed the greatest threat to him. As long as the Fire Dinosaur is dealt with, the remaining 2 elves are nothing to fear. Snapped. However, as soon as he finished speaking, the Fire Dinosaur flew directly up and was lifted into the air by the giant pincer mantis. Immediately afterwards, there was a violent storm attack from the giant mantis. The power of the continuous slash is acting on the Fire Dinosaur. Even if it has attribute advantages, it is of no use at this moment and has no ability to resist. There is no ability to resist. Because the attack of the giant pincer mantis is too violent. Boom. Next moment, the Fire Dinosaur shot down from the sky and hit the ground hard, making a big crater in the solid ground. The Fire Dinosaur even passed out on the spot, his life and death unknown. Fire Dinosaurs. Zhou Dao was so distressed that he didn't care to vent his anger and rushed directly towards the Fire Dinosaur. Everyone around was stunned by this sudden scene and had not yet recovered from the shock. One move in seconds. That's a Fire Dinosaur, one of the 3 U families. After evolving, it became an incredibly powerful being. It was actually killed by a giant mantis with 4 times the fire power. Oh my god, who can tell me what's going on? What about the attribute restraint you promised? But you just gave me an instant kill with an inverse attribute. Cheating. This is definitely cheating. Idiot, this is obviously caused by the huge gap in strength between the 2 sides. Can you have some brains? Wang Bin and Pan Zhouden were also stunned, forgetting to attack. The scene just now shocked them so much that it left a lingering shadow in their hearts. But Wang Ming was not so kind as to wait for these two idiots to come to their senses, and directly continued to order Giant Pincer Mantis to deal with Pibby Bird and Pikachu. In less than a minute, all three elves were completely eliminated. Wang Ming looked at the three people who were silent and sneered. "Ha, even if I gave you a chance, you'd be useless." Such humiliating words came out of Wang Ming's mouth, but they seemed so natural. Even after Wang Ming said this, no one dared to refute. The entire space was silent, and everyone's eyes were focused on Wang Ming. Shock, panic, admiration. All kinds of emotions, everything. Wang Ming was completely unaware. He raised his head and glanced at everyone coldly, then slowly said, "Is there anyone else who wants to compete with me?" There was no sound, and the needles could be heard falling. The whole world fell into silence at this moment. Seeing no one responded, Wang Ming turned around and walked towards the technology warehouse as if there was no one around. If the tiger doesn't show off its power, does it think I'm a sick cat? This group of people just needs to be dealt with. It wasn't until Wang Ming entered the technology warehouse for a long time that everyone dared to move and recovered from the shock. Strong, so strong, it's like cheating. We all entered the game world on the same day. Why are there such big differences between people? Wow, wow. I thought I was invincible, but I didn't expect that compared to him, I would be a hottie. Fellow Taoist, there is no need to be so depressed. From a certain perspective, this matter is still good for us. Oh, what do you say? Look, haven't those three been abolished? They probably won't be able to rest today. Doesn't that mean we have three less competitors? Hiss, that makes sense. Yan Kashin froze on the spot, looking in a daze. He is actually so strong. But he seems to be disgusted with me. Did I really do something wrong? Should I apologize to him? Yan Kashin bit her red lips and clenched the corner of her clothes tightly with her right hand, seeming to be making a difficult decision. The other side, in the technology warehouse. After some exploration, Wang Ming roughly understood the principles of the simulated battle platform. To put it simply, the form and skills of the elf are simulated through AI, and then projected to fight against the trainer's elf. However, because this technology is not very mature yet, the number of simulated elves is limited and its strength is greatly reduced. Wang Ming browsed briefly and found that there were not many elves that could be simulated. Almost all of them were common elves, such as Styrofoam, Pikachu, and Rattata. After all, the simulated elves must have prototypes in reality. Otherwise, how can they be simulated if they don't even know their skills, form, or even various data? Therefore, it is also destined that the simulated elves will not be too strong. However, it is perfectly adequate training for others. But for Wang Ming, it seemed a bit tasteless. Anyway, since I'm here, let's try it first. Wang Ming adjusted the interface, slid up and down, and finally selected the most powerful elf in the simulated battle platform so far. Giant Claw Mantis. That's right, it's an elf modeled after his giant mantis. Giant Clawed Mantis versus Giant Clawed Mantis should be quite interesting, right? Wang Ming murmured and sent out the Giant Pincer Mantis. Crack. The Giant Pincer Mantis flapped its wings twice, and stared at the guy opposite who looked exactly like him with a pair of sharp eyes. Don't be afraid, it's just a guy simulated by AI, just kill him. Wang Ming explained calmly. The Giant Pincer Mantis nodded slightly, and the next moment it turned into a red light and disappeared from the place. The reaction of the Giant Pincer Mantis on the opposite side was slightly slow. After Wang Ming's Giant Pincer Mantis rushed out, he made some moves and used his moves. But unfortunately, Wang Ming's Giant Pincer Mantis took the first step and directly hit the Giant Pincer Mantis with one move. Immediately, the Giant Pincer Mantis was knocked into the air. Immediately afterwards, attacks like a violent storm continued to fall, and the Giant Pincer Mantis had no room to resist and could only be beaten passively. 5 seconds later, with a bang, the Giant Pincer Mantis exploded and turned into a ball of starlight, dissipating in the air. At this time, a soft AI female voice sounded. Congratulations on your victory, the score for this battle is 100. Wang Ming curled his lips and said sarcastically. Artificial mental retardation. Then, he walked out with the Giant Pincer Mantis. Boring, so boring. He has never met such a tough opponent. Wang Ming walked out of the technology warehouse. At this time, there were few people in the entire hall. Seeing Wang Ming come out of the technology warehouse, one of them ran over and said with a flattering smile, Brother Ming, you have come out, do you still use this technology warehouse? If not, don't use it. Can you let me? Wang Ming was very satisfied. This man spoke very nicely, unlike the previous ones who had bad mouths. You can use it, I don't need it anymore. Wang Ming patted the man's shoulder and said with a smile. Thank you, bro. The man was overjoyed and ran into the technology warehouse. Others looked enviously, regretting that they had not stepped forward to ask. Wang Ming looked around, found a deserted place, and rested. Opening the trading platform casually, Wang Ming hoped to catch another mistake. At this moment, a beautiful silhouette suddenly appeared next to him. Wang Ming felt something, looked up, and found that it was Fang Yuren. His face was still so cold, like a snow mountain that had not melted for thousands of years. Is something wrong? Wang Ming was a little confused and asked. Fang Yuren nodded. I want to discuss with you. Wang Ming raised his eyebrows and said, if you want to compete, you can go to the simulated battle platform. Fang Yuren shook his head, too weak. Wang Ming was stunned, a glimmer of light flashed in his eyes, and he asked calmly, have you ever challenged the giant pincer mantis in the simulated battle platform? Fang Yuren groaned softly. The strength is okay, but the reaction is too slow. Wang Ming became interested. Being able to defeat the AI giant pincer mantis shows that he still has some strength. Moreover, judging from Fang Yuren's appearance, it would be easy to win. In other words, Fang Yuren's strength is not simple. This gave him an idea of fighting. Anyway, I have nothing to do, and it's good to practice my skills. Wang Ming was about to speak, but at this moment, Fang Yuren said again, I have heard your name and know that you are very strong. I will not take advantage of you in this competition. No matter whether you win or lose, I can help you for free. Genie for a relaxing massage. You don't have to doubt my skills. My family runs a pet massage parlor, and I'm a professional. Wang Ming nodded with satisfaction. This girl speaks well and suits my taste. I like her. Moreover, he was also very interested in the elf massage mentioned by Fang Yuren. If you can learn how to do it, you can also touch Gardevoir in the future. Oh no, it's a massage to enhance the relationship between the two. Okay, it's a happy decision. Wang Ming showed a bright smile and stretched out his hand to shake hands to express friendship. Fang Yuren was not a pretentious person. He showed a rare charming smile on his face and shook hands with Wang Ming to express his pleasure in cooperation. Chapter 71. In the hall, handsome men and beautiful women stand separately. The one on the left is Wang Ming, and the one on the right is Fang Yuren. There were also a group of spectators who were too bored to train and wanted to watch the two of them compete. Wang Ming was still the same, releasing the giant mantis to fight. Fang Yuren also unexpectedly chose to let Bingyibu play. Before the battle started, the surrounding spectators began to whisper. Giant claw mantis versus ice Eevee, who do you think will win? In terms of attributes, the giant pincer mantis has the advantage, so I think the giant pincer mantis has a higher chance of victory. That's not necessarily the case. I have a different opinion. Although Ice Eevee is at a disadvantage in terms of attributes, its racial value is higher than that of giant pincer mantis, so it may not be impossible to win. Tisk, just a little higher, what's the use of it? Why is it useless? There is not much difference between 18 centimeters and 15 centimeters. Can they be the same concept? Haha, it's just a fallacy to lick a dog. I hope you lick it until the end and have nothing. I'm happy to add more, but I don't care about your troubles. Wang Ming looked at Bingyibu, and lines of information appeared in front of his eyes. Elf, Ice Eevee, gender, female, qualification, purple, level, 28, attribute, ice, feature, snow hidden during hail weather, the evasion rate will increase. Hidden characteristic, frozen body during hail weather, 1/16 of the maximum blood volume will be slowly restored each round. Carrying items, none. Skills, impact, tail wagging, frozen wind, help, sand shaking, round pupils, lightning flash, bite, frozen teeth, boulders, barrier, mirror reflection. Hereditary skill, see-through. With purple qualifications, hidden characteristics, and genetic skills, this ICV is very special. Wang Ming couldn't help but show a hint of admiration on his face. But then, he shook his head slightly disappointedly. It's a pity, the level is a bit low, only level 28. If you can reach level 30 or above, you may have a chance encounter with the giant pincer mantis. Wang Ming's giant pincer mantis is currently at level 38, which means it is 10 levels behind ICV, and the gap is not small. It cannot be made up for by simply relying on combat skills and strategies. Moreover, the giant pincer mantis still has an advantage in attributes, which makes ICV even more difficult. There is probably no suspense about the outcome of this battle. But even so, Wang Ming did not lose interest. He wanted to see what kind of surprise Fang Yuren would bring him in this situation where he was almost certain to lose. Withdrawing his gaze, Wang Ming looked at Fang Yuren. Can we start? He was not the kind of person who liked sneak attacks, so he asked politely before the battle started. Fang Yuren nodded slightly. Giant claw mantis, use metal claws. As soon as he came up, Wang Ming used the move to restrain the ice attribute elves. Bing Bing, use freezing wind. Fang Yuren gave a sweet shout and said with a cold face. Puff. Wang Ming was shocked when he heard the word, Bing Bing, and almost spit out a mouthful of blood. What the hell, you call Bing Bing Ibrahimovich Bing Bing? Did something go wrong? Where is the iceberg goddess we promised? Pay attention to your image, beauty. At this moment, Fang Yuren's aloof image instantly collapsed in Wang Ming's heart. Wang Ming seemed to have an epiphany and had a clear understanding. It turns out that no matter how cold the goddess is, she still has the heart of a little girl. Wang Ming was very excited, as if he had discovered a new world. Fang Yuren frowned slightly, not understanding why Wang Ming was giggling there. But she was too lazy to take care of it and focused more on the battle. Woohoo! At this moment, a cold wind came, making Wang Ming shiver. The sudden chill also made him shiver involuntarily, and he came back from his excitement. Stab it! The giant pincer mantis faced the wind and waved its giant pincers vigorously, turning into sharp steel claws and forcefully tore a hole in the cold wind. But the cold wind also solidified its body and slowed it down. Keep blowing it with the freezing wind. Fang Yuren then shouted sweetly, not knowing whether it was because she was too excited or worked too hard, but there was a trace of blush on her pale cheeks, which was really charming. Wang Ming did not have time to appreciate this intoxicating scenery, but ordered to the giant pincer mantis, Giant pincer mantis, use high-speed movement, and then get close to it and use bullet punch. Crack. The giant pincer mantis suddenly increased its speed and was instantly freed from the shackles of the cold wind. Its speed also recovered and even increased by 1 level. Swish. The giant pincer mantis, which had increased its speed, rushed to Bing Eevee's side in the blink of an eye with the power of thunder. Use pincers to turn into fists and punch with great force. Fist shadows intertwined all over the sky, directly knocking Bing Yibu away. Fang Yuren was not impatient and shouted again. Stabilize the ice and use boulders. Ibrahimovich. ICV also let out a sweet shout and quickly stabilized his retreating figure. Several pieces of boulders quickly condensed around his body, turning into sharp swords and shooting at the giant pincer mantis. Avoid them and use the metal claws to kill them. Wang Ming shouted deeply and increased the frequency of attacks, wanting to see if Fang Yuren could withstand it. Crack clap. The giant pincer mantis dodges left and right to avoid the incoming boulders. Boom. But there were a lot of boulders, so it couldn't avoid them all, and some boulders still hit it. Fortunately, due to attribute restraint, it did not cause too much damage. Enduring the impact of the boulders, the giant pincer mantis quickly came to ICV, raised his hand and grabbed it with one claw. Bing Bing, use barrier. At a critical moment, Fang Yuren once again showed amazing reaction ability. Ibrahimovich. In an instant, a barrier glowing with light blue light appeared in front of Ibrahimovich. At this time, the claws of the giant pincer mantis had also fallen down and caught on the barrier. Zzz. Sparks flew and made a screeching sound. Click. The next moment, it seemed that the barrier could no longer withstand the power of the giant pincer mantis. It burst apart in the blink of an eye and turned into countless fragments, flying around. Ibrahimovich. Ibrahimovich let out a scream, but also suffered the backlash from the broken barrier, and was sent flying out. After gliding for a while, he fell at Fang Yuren's feet. Bing Bing. Fang Yuren was no longer as calm as before, and hurriedly knelt down, hugged Bingyiboo in his arms, and gently stroked its ears, as if this could relieve Bingyiboo's pain. Bear with me, I'll give you some medicine right now. Fang Yuren trotted back to where he stored his belongings, then took out some wound medicine from his bag and began to apply it on Bingyiboo's body. Wang Ming also came over at this time. Fang Yuren was concentrating on applying medicine to Bingyiboo's wounds. When she saw Wang Ming coming, she raised her head and glanced at him, and said with some embarrassment, can you wait for a while? Bingbing is a little injured. I want to help it apply the medicine first. I will not break my promise to you, you can rest assured of this. Fang Yuren patted her chest and assured that it was just less elastic than Wang Mengmeng's. Wang Ming behaved very generously. Don't be in a hurry, I have plenty of time. Thank you. You are a good person. Fang Yuren breathed a sigh of relief, glanced at Wang Ming gratefully, and then continued to apply medicine to Bingyiboo. Wang Ming's mouth twitched and he was speechless. Why are these words of gratitude so awkward coming from Fang Yuren's mouth? What does it mean to be a good person? It felt like I had been sent a good guy card after failing to express my love. Just kidding, he is the invincible and super handsome man in the universe who is loved by everyone, so how could he be rejected? Inappropriate, these words should not be applied to him. So, Wang Ming took a deep breath and said solemnly, I'm not a good person. Well, absolutely not. What? Fang Yuren looked confused, opened his mouth, and tilted his head to look at Wang Ming in confusion. However, Wang Ming did not explain. He just sat aside and closed his eyes to rest. After waiting for a while, Wang Ming smelled a faint aroma drifting towards him. Slowly opening his eyes, a beautiful silhouette appeared in front of him. I'm fine, where is your elf? Oh, Wang Ming responded and released the giant pincer mantis. Go ahead, this is the reward you deserve. Wang Ming greeted the giant pincer mantis. The giant pincer mantis nodded, and then walked up to Fang Yuren. He exhaled and closed his eyes. With a snap, he lay on the ground. As if to say, come on, please ravage me hard. Fang Yuren looked at the giant mantis lying on the ground, chuckled and said, you don't have to close your eyes. Wang Ming said something leisurely. It's okay, it's quite shy. Fang Yuren was stunned and didn't say much. Take a deep breath and get started. Well, the body of the giant pincer mantis is pretty hard. This was Fang Yuren's first feeling. Being hard is not good, it is difficult to serve and it is a challenge for her. Fang Yuren's soft hands began to roam around the body of the giant mantis, and after finding a spot, she pressed it hard. Then stroked gently again, sometimes hard, sometimes gentle. Sometimes it goes deep, sometimes it goes shallow. After a while, the giant pincer mantis felt a warmth and softness in its body, as if its cells were shouting with excitement. Unable to hold it back for a moment, the giant pincer mantis let out an imaginative moan. Wang Ming's face turned red and he couldn't help but look at Fang Yuren. But she saw Fang Yuren acting like nothing happened, her face not red, her heart not beating, as if she hadn't heard anything. Wang Ming couldn't help but sigh in his heart. As expected of a professional, he is really dedicated. As time went on, Fang Yuren's hand began to speed up, and even the moans coming from the mouth of the giant pincer mantis became much more frequent. Wang Ming was so upset when he heard that cry that he almost couldn't even hold down his gun. Fortunately, with a powerful exhalation, the massage finally ended. All right, this massage technique is inherited from my family. It can relax muscles and is very useful for elves who often fight. Fang Yuren retracted his hand and stood up. Wang Ming saw that his thoughts were still unfinished, and he suddenly felt itchy and asked, can your massage technique be used to massage people? Fang Yuren was stunned and glanced at Wang Ming in surprise. Seeing the expectant look on his face, he thought for a moment and nodded, okay, but I've never given anyone a massage. Wang Ming looked happy, how about you give me a massage? I won't take advantage of you either. You give me a massage and I'll spar with you. Fang Yuren was thoughtful and nodded after a moment. But we have to wait a while, my ICV hasn't recovered yet. Wang Ming became even more excited. It's simple, look at me. With that said, he walked to Bingyiboo's side. Stretch out your hands and cover ICV's body. Immediately afterwards, a force containing mysterious energy emerged from his hands and lingered around Bingyiboo's body. When Ice Eevee's body encountered that mysterious energy, it immediately became excited, as if it were a glutton, constantly devouring energy. Within a moment, all the injuries on Bingyubu's body disappeared, and his vitality returned to its original state, full of vitality. Ibrahimovic, the resurrected Bingyubu let out a joyful cry, jumped into Fang Yuren's arms, and rubbed Fang Yuren's chest with his little head. Fang Yuren's beautiful eyes were full of surprises. Ice Eevee, who was still a little weak before, was resurrected with full health in the blink of an eye. Isn't this incredible? How did you do it? Fang Yuren looked at Wang Ming in disbelief and asked, like a curious baby. Wang Ming smiled mysteriously. Hey, secret. Soon, the two began to fight for the second time. Needless to say, this battle ended with Wang Ming's victory just like the previous one. Fang Yuren also gave Wang Ming a massage as promised. That feeling, what a cool word. It couldn't be more exciting, it's so exciting. In fact, Wang Ming has become obsessed with this feeling. If you don't do it for a day, you will feel uncomfortable all over. Again, after the song ended, Wang Ming asked with unfinished meaning. It is good, but I have to trouble you to help me treat Bingbing. To thank you, I will give you 2 massages this time. Wang Ming's heart skipped a beat. After a lot of fussing, it was time to enjoy it again. Once for the giant pincer mantis, once for himself. Share the blessings and share the difficulties. Wang Ming is still very loyal. Again and again, again and again. Finally, Wang Ming felt a little too happy and his body began to feel weak. I can't do it anymore. Let's rest for a while. Okay, I'll go practice with Bingbing for a while. Fang Yuren nodded, wiped the glistening sweat from his forehead, turned and walked aside. Wang Ming couldn't help but be curious and asked. Are not you tired? Fang Yuren replied. I used to do it often, so I'm used to it. Wang Ming nodded thoughtfully. Sure enough, there were only exhausted cattle and no plowed fields. A day of training is coming to an end. At night, everyone faced a crucial test. This test is about whether they can continue to stay here. Perform well, enter the competition, and create your own glory. If you don't perform well, you will be eliminated and go home. Everyone became nervous at this moment. Everyone, I believe you have been waiting for a long time, and the final test is here. This test will determine your future stay. If you advance to the top 6, you will represent your country in the World Exchange competition. If you fail to advance, you will go back to your home and find your own mother. In front of the crowd, Yan Kashin glanced at everyone one by one and said seriously. Seeing the fighting spirit on everyone's faces, she nodded with satisfaction and continued, Okay, next, let me tell you the test rules. It's actually very simple. I will first sort you based on your initial rankings and select the top 6 as reserve players. The remaining people will each have 3 chances to challenge them. If I can win, I can take that person's place and advance to the top 6. Those who are still in the top 6 seats in the end will be our official contestants this time. After Yan Kashin finished speaking, he was silent for a while, waiting for questions from everyone. Strangely, the scene was eerily quiet, and no one wanted to ask questions. Yan Kashin made it very clear, and there was indeed nothing that everyone did not understand. Are there no problems? To make sure nothing went wrong, Yan Kashin asked another question. Still no one spoke. Okay, then the student whose name I read next, please come forward. Yan Kashin took out a document, looked down at it, and began to read. No. 1. Wang Ming. Wang Ming smiled calmly and took a step forward. This result, he has long expected. Apart from him, no one can get the first place. This is not because he is showing off, but because of his confidence and absolute strength. Everyone had no objections to Wang Ming's ranking and nodded in agreement. Although some of them looked down on Wang Ming before and even had conflicts with Wang Ming, it is undeniable that Wang Ming's strength is indeed the number 1. This is recognized. After a 5-second pause, Yan Kashin read out the second name. Fang Yuren. Wang Ming smiled at Fang Yuren and said hello. He had personally experienced Fang Yuren's strength and could afford the second place. Wang Ming had no doubts about Fang Yuren's strength, but it was different for others. Some people doubt Fang Yuren's strength and feel that Fang Yuren is not suitable for the second throne. But they didn't say much, because they would have the opportunity to challenge Fang Yuren next. Compared with talking quickly now, it is obviously more interesting to defeat Feng Yuren with strength. Zhao Rishan. Yan Kexin read out the third name. Wang Ming glanced at him and had some impression of this person. He has a square face, an unkempt beard, and a pair of eyes that are as sharp as swords. It can be seen that during puberty, the secretion of male hormones is extremely strong. Zhao Rishan's elf Wang Ming also had an impression. Yan Kexin mentioned it during the introduction. It's a gala, and its strength is very good, otherwise it wouldn't be ranked number 3. After a while, Yan Kexin read the names of 3 more people. They are Li Yan, Wucheng and Zhu Chen. At this point, the top 6 have been booked. Okay, the rest of you can start choosing who to challenge. First is No. 1 Wang Ming. Is there anyone challenging? After Yan Kexin finished speaking, there was silence all around. Even Zhou Dao, Wang Bin and others did not dare to look directly at Wang Ming. There was no way, the 3 of them had just been beaten up by Wang Ming not long ago, and they deeply understood how powerful Wang Ming was. Now he goes up to trouble Wang Ming. Isn't it because he has eaten enough to support himself and is ready to seek abuse? Zhou Dao and the others did not dare to challenge Wang Ming, and the others naturally lacked the courage. In terms of strength, the 6 of them are almost the same. Even if they are strong, they are not much stronger. They have all seen Wang Ming's strength with their own eyes. To challenge Wang Ming is purely to seek death. No one challenges me. Invincible is so lonely. Wang Ming sighed to himself and even hummed the familiar song. How lonely it is to be invincible. Everyone's faces were ashen as coal, but it was difficult to say anything. It was clear that Wang Ming was showing off, but they couldn't refute him. Because, in a sense, Wang Ming is indeed invincible. Seeing that Wang Ming was so arrogant that no one dared to challenge him, Yan Kexin also gave a helpless smile. Since there is no one to challenge, then Wang Ming will officially become one of the participants. Everyone showed envious eyes. It feels so good to advance without doing anything. Wang Ming didn't think it was anything to be proud of. Maybe it was too simple for him. How do you say that? Yes, just have hands. The challenge continued, and soon it was Feng Yuren's turn. Feng Yuren's prestige was obviously not as strong as Wang Ming's. As soon as Yan Kexin finished speaking, several people were ready to challenge her. I come. At this time, Zhou Dao stood up. His elf is a fire dinosaur, and has attribute restraints on Ice Eevee, so he has a better chance of winning in a fight. If Zhou Dao takes action, it should be safe. It's a pity that he got a big advantage. Yes, but I can't do things like destroying flowers with one hand. It's quite good to let Zhou Dao do it. Hehe, I'm just the opposite of you. I like to destroy flowers with my hands, especially the holy flowers of ice and snow. Hey, come on. Wang Ming glanced at Feng Yuren and encouraged her. There is no other meaning. He is a very vindictive person and he just likes to see Zhou Dao defeated. Feng Yuren nodded lightly and walked out. Both sides stood separately and released their elves one after another. Fire Dinosaur vs Ice Eevee. Although the Fire Dinosaur has an inherent advantage in terms of attributes, Wang Ming believes that Feng Yuren can still win. Fire Dinosaur, use sparks. As soon as he came up, Zhou Dao took the lead in attacking, using fire attribute moves, hoping to quickly resolve the battle. However, facing Zhou Dao's menacing attack, Feng Yuren did not immediately fight back. Instead, he waited until the blazing flame was about to arrive before taking any action. Haha, do you want to use that move to end the battle? It's a good idea, very smart and very bold. Wang Ming saw through Feng Yuren's plan at a glance, and he couldn't help but smile. Bing bing, use mirror reflection. Ibrahimovic. A ray of light appeared out of thin air in front of Bing Yibu, blocking the flames. The flames bent the intensity of the light, and Ice Eevee was even more so suppressed that he was sweating profusely. But he didn't fall. Ibrahimovic. The next moment, Ice Eevee let out a roar, and with a sudden force, the fireball was bounced back with even more terrifying power, heading straight towards the fire dinosaur. How can that be? Zhou Dao's expression changed drastically, but it was too late to react. The fireball hit the fire dinosaur, and the sky was surrounded by flames. The fire dinosaur let out a scream and fell into the sea of fire, losing its ability to fight. With his way, he also gave his body. The specular reflection reflected the flames back with twice the damage to his own body, defeating the fire dinosaur. This time, Fang Yuren won completely. 1. Kill instantly with one move. Another instant kill. Have I entered the den of perverts? Why are my teammates more perverted than the others? She's so good looking and so strong. I really want her. Even if it means losing 10 years of my life, I'm willing to do it. Others standing around and watching saw Zhou Dao being easily defeated, with shock written on their faces. You know, Zhou Dao's strength is not weak anymore, he can even be said to be among the top ones. Moreover, Zhou Dao's fire dinosaur specifically restrains Fang Yuren's ICV in terms of attributes. No matter how you look at it, the odds of winning are high. But it was a bit hard to accept that a battle that seemed like a sure win suddenly turned upside down and killed the opponent instantly with one blow. Forget it if it's his opponent Wang Ming, after all, not everyone is as perverted as him. But Zhou Dao's opponent is just a weak and beautiful girl. Logically speaking, she shouldn't be so strong. At this moment, everyone's judgment of Fang Yuren changed greatly. Fang Yuren and Wang Ming have been classified into the same category. They are all perverts. Come back, Bingbing. Fang Yuren spoke softly and waved to Bingyibu. Immediately, Bingyibu jumped lightly into her arms and rubbed her chest vigorously, making everyone envious and wishing they could take Bingyibu's place. Yes, you can rest for 10 minutes and face the next challenge. Yan Kashin's eyes flashed with excitement, and she was very satisfied with Fang Yuren's performance just now. The better Fang Yuren and others perform, the greater their chances of winning this competition. Because of this, Yan Kashin started to look forward to it, hoping that the next person could also surprise her. Next is Zhao Rishan. Does anyone want to challenge him? Fang Yuren glanced at everyone one by one with his smart eyes and asked. However, he did not stand up immediately like before. After experiencing the battle just now, they gradually realized a problem. That is, those who can obtain the top 6 thrones are not ordinary people. You must not just look at superficial strength, you need to choose your opponents carefully. After all, every time you use an opportunity, you lose one, and the elf's condition will also decrease. In this regard, the first challenge has the greatest chance of success. The further you go, the lower the success rate becomes, and there is no room for them to ignore it. After about 3 minutes, someone finally stood up. The challenger is Wang Bin. Like Zhou Dao, he provoked Wang Ming before, but was slapped in the face. Okay, let's get started when you two are ready. Yan Kashin said lightly with a charming smile on her lips. Soon, the two began to fight between themselves. The battle is simple and ends quickly. The winner was decided within 5 or 6 minutes. Unfortunately, Wang Bin failed to challenge successfully. Wang Ming couldn't help but sneered, "Oh, we are really brothers in distress." After hearing this, Zhou Dao and Wang Bin's faces felt hot, but they were unable to refute. Indeed, they had provoked Wang Ming before and were beaten to a pulp. Now I challenge other people, but I still get slapped in the face. Shameful, so shameful. Sister Yan, I quit. Zhou Dao seemed to feel that it was too embarrassing to stay here, and a burst of anger rushed into his brain, and he blurted out. Yan Kashin was a little surprised and reminded, "You still have 2 chances, so you may not be able to advance." Zhou Dao shook his head and said, "No need, the result is the same." After that, he turned around and left regardless of what everyone thought. Zhou Bin on the side saw this, hesitated for a moment, and followed. I gave up too. Yan Kashin looked at the 2 people leaving and couldn't help but shake her head and smile bitterly. He raised his head and glanced at Wang Ming. Wang Ming spread his hands and said unconsciously, "I'm a careless person. I like to speak directly. Do you have any questions?" The corners of Yan Kashin's mouth twitched slightly. No problem. The challenge continues. The next few games ended quickly, no one was surprised. In the end, there was no change in the rankings. Okay, someone will take you back later. Don't be discouraged, there will be a long time to come. A temporary victory or defeat doesn't mean anything. You should all work hard. Yan Kashin looked at the dejected people, comforted them for a few words, and then let them leave first. Then, she turned to look at the remaining 6 people, with a smile on her face, and congratulations on your success in staying and representing our Dragon Kingdom in this World Exchange competition. In the next 2 days, I will conduct targeted training for you based on the game format. But before that, you need to find your own partners, work in pairs, and prepare for the next doubles match. Yan Kexin paused and then said, "Now, you can find your partner." As soon as he finished speaking, everyone started whispering. At the same time, everyone looked at Wang Ming involuntarily. Obviously, they all want to partner with Wang Ming. After all, Wang Ming is the strongest among them. Even Fang Yuren turned his head to look at Wang Ming in a rare moment, with a hint of desire to cooperate in his eyes. This kid is really popular. Seeing this, Yan Kexin muttered softly. I wonder who he will choose as his partner. Feeling the eager gazes of everyone, Wang Ming joked half-jokingly. Don't look at me, I'm not gay. Well, in one sentence, I have completely explained my thoughts clearly. Several teenagers looked embarrassed. Fang Yuren was amused by Wang Ming's words and let out a silver bell-like laughter, which was really nice to hear. Understanding Wang Ming's intentions, Fang Yuren's eyes showed gratitude. He took a step forward, stretched out his jade hand and said, "It's a pleasure to cooperate, my partner." Wang Ming held Fang Yuren's jade hand with a gentleman's smile on his face. Pleasant to work with. Training time always flies by. Over the past 2 days, the relationship between Wang Ming and Fang Yuren has taken a further step forward and they have become friends. Wang Ming even learned the massage technique from Fang Yuren. Although I'm not very skilled, I can't wait to try it with Gardevoir. 2 days later, everyone embarked on a journey to the World Exchange Competition. An artificial island in the South China Sea. The arena that has been set up looks particularly bright under the sunlight. It is full of majesty, especially the statue of the giant oriental dragon, which is lifelike, as if it is coming to life. This is the foundation of the Dragon Kingdom and its uncanny craftsmanship. Hello, Ohio. The delegations from the beautiful country and the Sakura country also came over at this time. Both parties greeted each other warmly, looking like brothers meeting each other after not seeing each other for many years. OHA has already stuffed your mouth. At this time, the representative of the Sakura country team greeted Wang Ming and the others enthusiastically. As the team representative of the Dragon Kingdom and the leader of this competition, Wang Ming naturally cannot fall behind and should show due understanding. Ever since, Wang Ming also greeted the other party very enthusiastically. Death to your mother, death to your mother. Your mother will die greatly. The team representative from Sakura country was stunned for a moment, unable to figure out what it meant. After thinking for a moment, he burst into laughter, probably thinking that Wang Ming was complimenting him. The rest of the people couldn't help but laugh, desperately covering their mouths to prevent themselves from laughing out loud, almost causing internal injuries. You're bad enough. Fang Yuren glanced at Wang Ming and said lightly. Wang Ming disagreed. Is it necessary to deal with them? Fang Yuren thought about this question seriously, and then replied very seriously, no need. Wang Ming knocked her little head. Well, children can be taught. Fang Yuren rubbed her forehead, stomped her little foot, and quickly chased after him. She also touched Wang Ming's forehead and imitated a sentence. You are quite teachable. After some occasion greetings were read out, the game officially began. First, there's the singles round robin. Each side sends 6 players to participate. Whichever team is still standing on the stage at the end will win. I don't know if there's an inside story or if it's just a coincidence. The first battle is between the Dragon Kingdom and the Sakura Kingdom, while the Beautiful Kingdom is waiting on the sidelines as a spectator. I guess this is the idea of the gangsters in Beautiful Country. They want to use the help of Sakura Country to test our strength and consume our physical strength. Zhao Rishan said to everyone in a calm voice. Everyone nodded in agreement, obviously not having a good impression of Beautiful Country and Sakura Country. At this time, Yan Kexin on the side said, whether it is a conspiracy or not, we must use all our strength to face our opponents. Remember, if you want to vent it on the battlefield. Everyone nodded solemnly, with high fighting spirit and eagerness to try. At this time, Wang Ming asked, who are you going to send first? The order of appearance of each team can be changed by itself. This is one of the rules of the game. As soon as these words came out, everyone else looked at Yan Kexin. After all, the first battle is crucial. If you can win the first battle, it will not only improve the morale of everyone, but also reduce the pressure of those behind you to a certain extent. Speaking of this issue, Yan Kexin also became serious and said, I plan to let Fang Yuren play first. There is no doubt about Fang Yuren's strength. If she plays, there is a high probability that she can win the first game. Victory. And in order to avoid the situation of being penetrated to the end, we need a more powerful person to control the field. So this person is me. Wang Ming answered. Yan Kexin nodded. This is the safest strategy, which can help us reduce risks and maximize the possibility of winning the first game. After thinking for a moment, the others nodded in agreement. Indeed, Yan Kexin's exit sequence can minimize uncertainty and is a good strategy. How do you feel? Yan Kexin saw Wang Ming frown slightly and thought he was dissatisfied with her strategy, so he asked. Wang Ming said calmly, I think your method is too troublesome. I have an easier way to win the game. When Yan Kexin was interested, she raised her eyebrows and said, Tell me about it. Wang Ming slowly raised his head and looked directly at Yan Kexin, with a confident light shining in his eyes, and a kingly aura emerged spontaneously. I'll be the first to go and punch them right through. In this way, the battle can be easily ended without you even needing to take action. Everyone was shocked by Wang Ming's words. Mad, crazy. It's so crazy. No one even dared to think about this situation, but Wang Ming actually dared to say it boldly. I have to say, it's so fierce. However, everyone does not think this is a good strategy. It is true that Wang Ming is very strong, stronger than any of them, and can even defeat them. But the game they faced was a wheel-to-wheel battle, with not one opponent, but 6. Faced with 6 people taking turns attacking, even Wang Ming might be a little overwhelmed, right? And if Wang Ming loses, it will be a devastating blow to them, and they may even be directly penetrated by the opponent. This is too risky. No, this is crazy. If anything goes wrong, it will be irreversible and even directly ruin our victory. Zhao Rishan was the first to stand up and disagreed with Wang Ming's statement. Yes, it can't be like this. You are strong, we admit it, but you are not invincible. There is a world outside the sky, and there are people outside the world. This approach of yours is too risky. You are completely gambling with everyone's fate. No matter what, I wouldn't agree. You can show off on your own, but please don't take us with you. The others also expressed their opinions one after another, and obviously they were not optimistic about Wang Ming. Yan Kexin watched everyone arguing, but did not stop it. After everyone calmed down, they looked at Wang Ming with interest, then turned to look at Fang Yuren and asked, Yuren, what do you think? Fang Yuren pondered for a moment, looked at Wang Ming, then at the others, and then said, I think I can give it a try. Yan Kexin was a little surprised, and a glimmer of light flashed in her eyes. You mean you believe in Wang Ming's strength? Fang Yuren shook his head. No, I just thought I could give it a try. The risk is high, but the outcome is worth the risk. Yan Kexin smiled brightly. I think so. Crazy, you must be crazy. Zhao Rishan shook his head repeatedly and murmured to himself. He never thought that Fang Yuren and Yan Kexin would agree to Wang Ming's crazy idea. Fang Yuren could forget it. After all, she and Wang Ming were partners, and they might have been together for a long time. It was normal to be on Wang Ming's side. But why did Yan Kexin agree to Wang Ming's suggestion? Could it be that Wang Ming also secretly captured it? Doesn't this guy suffer from kidney failure if he does 2 at once? Zhao Rishan couldn't understand. Not only him, but also several other people felt that Yan Kexin's words were too ridiculous. Just when everyone was trying their best to resist, Yan Kexin waved her hand, interrupted everyone, and looked directly at Wang Ming, as if to draw out Wang Ming's soul. I can agree with your suggestion, but what should you do if you lose? You can't hold all of us responsible for your failure, can you? Wang Ming sneered. He knew that Yan Kexin would not believe him so easily. Yan Kexin is betting that he has this strength. Of course, you may also want to use this method to stimulate your potential. After all, even if he loses, Fang Yuren will still have the bottom line, so that he won't be beaten to the end. This abacus is very clever. Of course, if I lose, I will compensate each of you alliance coins, and I will bear all the penalties. I will not express any opinions in the following games and will all follow your arrangements. Everyone's eyes lit up. Rather than bearing all the punishment, they cared more about alliance coins. 10,000 alliance coins are enough for them to buy a lot of things, and if used properly, it can even improve their strength to another level. In the face of interests, victory seems so pale and powerless. HMPH, to put it lightly, 10,000 for each person, that's 60,000. Where did you get so many alliance coins? Some people were skeptical and sneered. Wang Ming sneered, don't forget, I am player number 1. Boom. Player number 1 words made everyone startled and their bodies trembled suddenly. They thought back to the time when Wang Ming spent money like water on the trading platform, never making less yuan. A mere alliance coins were a huge amount of wealth in their eyes, but in Wang Ming's eyes, it seemed to be really insignificant. Okay, I have no problem. Some people agreed immediately. I don't mind either. The rest of the people also echoed. Zhao Rishan was very angry, his eyes widened with anger, and he disdained to join the others. HMPH, I won't join in with you. Wang Ming, I don't want any of your alliance coins. I only have one request. I hope you can fulfill your promise and get the fruits of victory. Wang Ming glanced at Zhao Rishan with some surprise. He didn't expect that this rough guy was an upright person, so he couldn't help but look at him with admiration. Okay, I'll do it. Wang Ming made a solemn promise to Zhao Rishan. Haha, you idiot, why are you pretending to be noble if you don't take advantage of it? When we get the alliance coins later, we'll see if you can pay it back. Some people sneered at Zhao Rishan's actions and were very disdainful. People with different opinions do not agree with each other, so Zhao Rishan just pretended not to hear and ignored it. Immediately afterwards, Fang Yuan also stood up and said calmly, if you win the competition, I will give you a free massage for a day. If you lose, you can give me a massage for a day. In one sentence, she had made her position clear. This beautiful woman doesn't care about anything that has money or money. Wang Ming was not so surprised by Fang Yuan's attitude. In the past few days, he had already gotten to know Fang Yuan roughly. Not delicate, not pretentious. Don't covet fame and fortune, don't love money. He has good character and is a trustworthy person. But his personality is not very good, he is very cold, and he is prone to being serious. Sometimes her brain is easily short-circuited, her IQ suddenly drops to negative, and even a lollipop can fool her away. Gold has no bare feet, and no one is perfect. This sentence couldn't be more appropriate to apply to Fang Yuan. After blinking at Fang Yuan, Wang Ming gave her a reply. Then, he looked at the others and said with a faint smile, since you have all made your requests, it's my turn, right? What can you ask for? Wang Ming sneered, did not look at the man, and said, I only have one request, and that is. All the rewards in this game belong to me personally. Since you cannot bear the consequences of failure with me, you are not qualified to share the fruits of victory with me. I said, it's okay, right? Wang Ming grinned, showing 8 big white teeth. But no matter how you look at it, this smile looks eerie. Everyone was choked to the point of being speechless. They were silent for a long time before they could even utter a good word. After deciding on the order, Wang Ming walked directly onto the arena without any further hesitation. When the Cherry Blossom Kingdom saw Wang Ming sent by the Dragon Kingdom, a hint of excitement appeared on their face. Ha ha ha, the people of the Dragon Kingdom are all idiots. They actually sent out their trump card in the first game. Do you really think they can defeat our Sakura Kingdom in one fell swoop? How ridiculous. Matsushita Maima, the leader of Sakura country this time, said excitedly. For this competition, they had specially investigated the participants of the Dragon Kingdom and learned some information about Wang Ming. Knowing that Wang Ming is the most powerful trainer in the Dragon Kingdom. Now that the Dragon Kingdom sends Wang Ming to fight first, in his opinion, he is seeking death. Yumikawa Naiko, go up and meet him. Remember, you don't have to win him, but you must not consume his energy as much as possible. Matsushita Maima said to a short boy behind him. Yes, Colonel Matsushita. Yumikawa Neku walked up with short legs. In front of Wang Ming's 1.8 meter figure, Yumikawa Neku is like a little chicken, ready to be manipulated. Wang Ming sneered and released Gardevoir without hesitation. That's right, it's Gardevoir. If you want to push the gang of melons on the opposite side, you really can't do it without some real skills. Although the giant pincer mantis is also good, it is not safe. It would be embarrassing if the boat capsized in the gutter. To be on the safe side, Gardevoir is better. After all, Gardevoir is capable of super evolution. The strength is simply not comparable to the bunch of crooked melons and jujubes in front of them. What kind of elf is this? It's so beautiful. Why have I never seen Wang Ming use it before? Gardevoir, commonly known as wife beast, can be an elf, or... I understand, this guy Wang Ming must be pretending to be a pig to eat the tiger. On the surface, he only has a giant mantis, but in fact he also hides a Gardevoir. Yes, that's right, that must be the case. This Gardevoir is Wang Ming's biggest trump card. When the Dragon Kingdom saw that the elf released by Wang Ming was Gardevoir instead of the giant pincer mantis, a commotion immediately broke out. Even Fang Yuren was very surprised. Because, during the days he spent with Wang Ming, he didn't know that Wang Ming had other elves. It can only be said that Wang Ming hid it too deeply. Haha, this guy always brings surprises to people. I wonder if we can really overwhelm Sakura country this time. Yan Kashin became very interested in Wang Ming, and her eyes kept wandering on Wang Ming's body. Not only the people of the Dragon Kingdom, but also the people of the Sakura Kingdom were also stunned. How is it possible? This guy from the Dragon Kingdom is actually cheating. People from the Dragon Kingdom. I know that none of the people from the Dragon Kingdom are good, and they have many bad intentions. Panasonic Mima couldn't help but curse a few times. At this moment, he became more and more contemptuous of the people of the Dragon Kingdom. When Yumikawa Neku saw Wang Ming's Gardevoir, he couldn't help but have a look of solemnity on his face. In his impression, there was no information about Gardevoir. But he is not a fool. From the changes in the expressions of the people around him, it can be seen that this Gardevoir is not simple. Phew, it's about to happen. Yumikawa Neku took a deep breath and began to take the game seriously. Come out, big-mouthed bat. Yumikawa Neku also released his own elves. A level 23 big-mouth bat. Perhaps, in the eyes of others, the level 23 big-mouth bat is already very powerful and can definitely rank among the first-class masters. But for Wang Ming, it is no different from garbage. Xanadu, use meditation. The battle begins. Wang Ming did not choose to attack, but first improved Gardevoir's attack ability to prepare for the next 1-6 attack. Gardevoir clasped her hands together, like a holy goddess standing alone in the world, which no one could bear to desecrate. Upon seeing this, Yumikawa Neku showed no mercy and launched an attack directly. Big-mouthed bat, use venomous fangs. Venomous fang is a poison-type move that has a restraining effect on Gardevoir. In addition, the power of the poisonous fangs is also very good. If it can hit Gardevoir, it can indeed cause a lot of damage. Wang Ming naturally would not sit still and wait for death. The big-mouthed bat opened its bloody mouth, exposed its sharp fangs, and bit Gardevoir. He immediately gave Gardevoir a dodge order. Use teleportation to avoid it, don't collide with it for the time being, and continue to use meditation. Wang Ming's purpose is very clear, to maximize his attack ability. The big-mouthed bat chased after him, making shrill screams. His expression was very ferocious and terrifying, like a Rakshasa coming out of hell, trying to harvest Gardevoir's life. But Gardevoir is not a vegetarian either. When teleportation is used, the figure becomes erratic and elusive like a ghost. The big-mouthed bat failed to attack several times in succession, and was fooled around. Dragon Kingdom people, you are just a bunch of cowards and cowards. Do you just want to run away? Don't you even have the courage to fight me head-on? Seeing that he had been unable to attack Gardevoir, Yumikawa Neku began to roar angrily, trying to use provocation to lure Wang Ming into a head-on battle with him. However, all this seemed so ridiculous to Wang Ming, it was just the incompetent rage of a weakling. However, since the other party wanted to fight head-on, he would satisfy the other party's wish. Gardevoir's ability level has almost been improved. Stop it, Gardevoir, it's time to let them see your true strength. Wang Ming's eyes suddenly shot out two bright rays of light, and a powerful invincible aura emerged spontaneously, soaring straight into the sky. Shanae, Gardevoir nodded, her white dress began to flutter in the wind, and her soft and slender legs were looming. A powerful superpower began to gather in its chest, and the next moment it turned into a wave of energy and shot out, heading straight for the big-mouthed bat in the sky. Stupid people from the Dragon Kingdom are really irritated by me, ha ha ha. Sure enough, People from the Dragon Kingdom are all idiots. Next, let me teach you what real fighting is. Big-mouthed bat, use venomous fangs. Yumikawa Neku yelled excitedly, his body trembling with excitement. He was chattering endlessly, barking like a mad dog. Fight him to death. Boom. Next moment, Gardevoir's mental force fell on the big-mouthed bat, and directly knocked the big-mouthed bat away. The big-mouthed bat didn't even show its poisonous fangs. It was like a kite with its string cut off, falling rapidly from the sky. Pat! The big-mouthed bat's body fell heavily to the ground, making a crisp sound and falling outside the field. Wang Ming sneered. His expression was very arrogant. He didn't even look at Maikwan Niku. His disdain was clearly evident. Trash, what are you barking at? Maikwan Neku's face turned red, his teeth clenched, and his eyes were full of anger and resentment. He stared at Wang Ming, wishing to eat his flesh alive and drink his blood. However, Wang Ming turned a blind eye and regarded him as nothing. He turned to look at the people of Sakura Kingdom and said a word calmly. Next, the tone was very calm, but the contempt in it couldn't be more obvious. With a bang, Matsushita Mima was so angry that she stood up directly. Her eyes were full of anger and her face turned black to coal. She was obviously extremely angry. Arrogant, so arrogant, he simply doesn't take us Sakura people seriously. Ikawa, go teach that boy from the Dragon Kingdom a lesson and let him know how powerful our Sakura Kingdom is. This time, Matsushita Mima was really angry, and regardless of tactics, they directly sent their second master, Aigawa Shinichi. Yes, Aigawa Shinichi stood up and walked onto the arena with everyone's anger towards Wang Ming. The other side, Yan Kashin and others' mouths were wide open, with deep disbelief in their expressions. Another one move. This guy is too perverted. I'm very curious, how strong is his real strength? I don't know, but we are definitely not on the same level. He has probably left us 10 steps behind. Well, heroes think alike. In fact, I think with the strength he has shown now, it is not impossible to defeat 6 at once. Haha, this is not necessarily the case. The Sakura people on the opposite side are attacking fiercely this time, and it is not easy. Look, the person they sent this time is very powerful. Everyone's eyes turned to the arena. At this time, Aigawa Shinichi had already released his combat elves. It's a Usangia, very rare. However, it is not the 3 imperial families in the Kanto region, but one of the 3 imperial families in the Fengyuan region. The evolved form of the fire elf, the fire chicken, is a strong chicken. The strong chicken is interesting. It seems that this guy was not teleported to the Kanto region, but to the Fengyuan region. Wang Ming was also a little surprised by the appearance of strong chicken. But it's just surprise. As for panic or worry, non-existent. Not to mention the strong chicken, even the flame chicken would have to kneel here and sing Conquest today. With the eye of detection activated, Wang Ming easily detected the information about this strong chicken. Level 26, I have some strength, but it's a pity that it's not enough in front of Gardevoir. Wang Ming sneered. Gardevoir's current level has reached level 36, and he can also carry out super evolution, which is completely incomparable to this bunch of scum that have not even evolved completely. Strengthen the chicken, use the charged flame attack. While Wang Ming was investigating, Aigawa Shinichi saw the right moment and launched a surprise attack. Unfortunately, Wang Ming found out. Wang Ming reacted and immediately asked Gardevoir to attack. Xanaduo, use mental strength. Shanae, a powerful spiritual power broke through the surrounding air and hit Li Zhuangji's body hard. Before the fire crow on the strong chicken was completely condensed, it was blown out by the strong wind in an instant, and it was also knocked away. Snapped. A crisp sound sounded, and the same scene happened again. Wang Ming defeated his opponent with another move. At this time, the people in the Dragon Kingdom had only one thought left in their minds. Wang Ming cowhide. Even Fang Yuan, who had always been cold, couldn't help but get excited when he saw this scene. His eyes were shining brightly and he couldn't stop staring at Wang Ming. The people of the Dragon Kingdom were very excited and wanted to celebrate with a beautiful dance on the spot. The people of Sakura country were very angry. They all stared at Wang Ming with sullen faces, wishing to kill him. The faces of people in the beautiful country are also very ugly. The stronger Wang Ming is, the stronger the Dragon Kingdom is, and it will be a disaster for them. At this moment, everyone's eyes were focused on Wang Ming. He became the brightest player in the audience. Moreover, he was extremely arrogant. He looked down at the people in the audience, as if to say, everyone here is rubbish, and none of them can fight. Matsushita Mima was angry, clenching her fists, and her voice was as low as an evil ghost from hell, exuding a cold and bloodthirsty aura. Taro Sakia, this time, you must win back the face of our Sakura nation. We must not let this kid continue to be arrogant. Matsushita Mima said to the boy next to her. The boy is the representative of Sakura Country's team this time, and he is also the strongest trainer in Sakura Country so far. This time, Panasonic Mima has no reservations and is bound to win Wang Ming. I'll try my best. Taro Sakia smiled bitterly, with a slight weakness on his face. He had seen the battle just now. Wang Ming's strength had greatly exceeded his expectations, and he was no longer able to compete. Even after 2 battles, Wang Ming's elf physical strength was somewhat exhausted, but Taro Sakia was still not sure he could defeat him. It's not an effort, it's a must. Seeing that Taro Sakia was somewhat depressed, Matsushita Mima immediately shouted angrily. After all, you don't want your mother. Even threatening words were spoken in the end. As soon as he heard the word mother, a look of anger flashed across Sakia Taro's face. Reason defeated anger, and Taro Sakia did not have an attack. He took a deep breath and tried to calm down. Colonel Mima, you promised me before that as long as I come to participate in the competition, you will not embarrass my mother. Matsushita Mima sneered. Haha, you have to win the game. If you lose, everything is void. The anger in Taro Sakia's heart rose to the extreme, and murderous intent even emerged in his eyes. If he and Matsushita Mima were the only 2 people here, maybe he would really take action. Okay, I get it. But unfortunately, the young man finally bowed his head. He raised his heavy steps and slowly walked onto the arena. Although, there is almost no possibility of victory in this battle. But he still has to go all out. Come out, you frog. Taro Sakia's elf is a frog. Wang Ming's eyes lit up, and a trace of surprise arose in his heart. The croak-headed frog is a very good elf. The crotch frog is a very rare elf. Its final evolved form is the Koga Ninja Frog, which is very powerful. The unique move Flying Water Shuriken combined with its own characteristics can deal high damage. It's a pity that the frog in front of me has not completed its final evolution, so it is impossible to acquire the exclusive skill Flying Water Shuriken. In other words, the combat power of this croaking frog will be greatly reduced. However, judging from the information obtained by the Eye of Exploration, the strength of this croaking frog is still worthy of recognition. It has reached level, and its qualifications are also very rare in purple. It deserves to be focused on training. Gardevoir, deal with it, don't waste time. Wang Ming said coldly. Shanae. Gardevoir nodded and used the skill mental strength again. Frog, use a substitute. Faced with Gardevoir's powerful attack, Taro Sakia did not give up resistance. Cuck. The croaking frog also reacted very quickly. When the mental force hit him, he created a substitute to protect himself from the damage. The terrifying energy poured out, directly beating the head frog substitute to pieces and turning it into clouds of smoke. Although the frog himself was not hit by the mental force, the aftermath of the explosion still caused considerable damage to him. In addition, creating a clone will also lose his own blood volume. The 2 superimpose each other, resulting in its current condition being very bad. So what if you rely on a substitute to support yourself? Can you hide once or twice? Wang Ming was not too surprised that the frog was not killed with 1 blow. On the contrary, the Sakura people could not help but breathe a sigh of relief. If even their strongest man was killed by 1 move, everyone's faith would be completely shattered. There is no need to compete anymore, just admit defeat. Xanadu, use the shadow ball. This time, Wang Ming changed his attack method. A dark purple energy ball continued to condense and expand in Gardevoir's hand, becoming bigger and bigger, wanting to compete with the 2 white rabbits on Gardevoir's chest. Finally, the shadow ball surpassed the white rabbit in size and ushered in its glorious moment. He was thrown out at extremely high speed by Gardevoir. Oh, what a pervert. Facing this move, Taro Sakia felt a sense of powerlessness. Every move of Gardevoir was so powerful that he had no ability to resist and could only use his substitute to resist. But the substitute is not free. Each time it is used, the frog's health will decrease. If you use it again, you may really lose your ability to fight. But what can he do? There is no choice but to be a substitute. Cat-headed frog, use a substitute. Taro Sakia's voice weakened, and he didn't even know why he was using a substitute. To be undefeated, can you continue to stand on the competitive stage? Maybe, who knows, but the outcome may never change. I lost. Taro Sakia was very disappointed. These words came from his own mouth. They were very bitter and hard to accept. Waste. Matsushita Mima cursed fiercely and jumped up in anger. Wang Ming raised his eyebrows and glanced at him lightly. So you're worried? Come on, let's have a go at it. Panasonic Mima suddenly became silent and sat down obediently. He's not a trainer, and he doesn't have a Pokemon. Fighting Wang Min, isn't it like lighting a lamp in a latrine and seeking death? Seeing Matsushita Mima immediately cower, Wang Ming spat in disdain. Bah, a piece of trash. Panasonic Mima was very depressed and aggrieved. I'm not scolding you. Is there something wrong with teaching your team members a lesson? What are you, a person from the Dragon Kingdom, messing around with? Wang Ming expressed this. I don't like it. Is there anything wrong with scolding you? Not happy to hear it. Hold it in for me. Of course, Wang Ming didn't suddenly have the urge to curse. It was Matsushita Mima's behavior that made him feel disgusted, that's all. But Taro Sakia didn't think so. He thought Wang Ming was helping him, and he immediately felt good about Wang Ming. He looked at him gratefully, said thank you, and then walked away. Wang Ming was stunned, and after a moment's thought, he realized that Taro Sakia had misunderstood him. But she was too lazy to explain and ignored it. We concede defeat. Even the strongest master has been eliminated, but the opponent is still alive and kicking like a normal person. He can even curse a few words and fight against himself. Panasonic Mima also understood that they had no hope of victory in this game. Just be happy and admit defeat directly, not bothering to waste time. Win. Is this a win? Quick, pinch me to see if I'm dreaming. Ah, why the hell are you pinching me? The people in Long Kingdom were very excited and shouted excitedly. Wang Ming, I would like to call you the strongest. Zhao Rishan gave Wang Ming a thumbs up, his admiration beyond words. It's great. It looks like I'm going to have to work hard. Fang Yuren also showed a rare charming smile. Even Yan Kashin's eyes were full of excitement at this moment, and she was so excited that she wanted to hug Wang Ming and kiss him hard. However, some people looked displeased. This guy is so strong, our alliance coins are in vain. Who says otherwise? Not only did he take all the limelight, but he also kept all the bonuses for himself. We people don't even have a thing. Under the spotlight, Wang Ming slowly walked off the stage. You made it, I owe you a massage. Fang Yuren came up holding Bingyibu and congratulated Wang Ming. Wang Ming stretched out a finger, shook it, and said seriously, no, it's one day. The corners of Fang Yuren's mouth twitched slightly. Are you trying to tire me out? Wang Ming disagreed. It's okay. If we are tired, we can relax and play some games that can only be played by two people. Fang Yuren was a little curious and asked with suspicion in his eyes. What game? Ludo. Everyone. Why do I feel like Wang Ming is driving? Be more confident and get rid of the feeling. The wheels of the car are smoking. Oots, so heartbreaking. The iceberg goddess has taken the shape of someone else. 2 hours later, the battle between the Dragon Kingdom and the Beautiful Kingdom begins. However, what no one expected was that Beautiful Country would surrender without a fight at this juncture and choose to give up the game. It really made everyone a little confused. Sister Yan, what is going on in the Beautiful Country? Is it because we are too powerful and you are scared? I think that's how it should be, they're just cowardly. Yes, I guess when I saw Brother Wang Ming, I was so scared that I peed my pants. The crowd burst into laughter. Wang Ming felt a little embarrassed after being teased by everyone. Keep a low profile, I'm just a tiny bit better than you. Yan Kashin interrupted everyone's random thoughts at this time and explained, they are not afraid, but they are planning the next 2 games. In the previous single-player round-robin match, Wang Ming showed his absolute crushing strength, which made people in the Beautiful Country very afraid. Even if they continue the single-player round-robin, there probably won't be any difference. The outcome will be the same as soccer a country. Instead of doing this, it is better to save energy and put all our strength into the next 2 games. After all, the next 2 games are not single-player matches. No matter how strong Wang Ming is, he will not be able to show his strength. Their possibility of winning is much greater than the single-player round-robin match. After Yan Kexin's explanation, everyone suddenly realized. So, even if we win the first big game, we cannot take it lightly. The next battle will be even more dangerous. Everyone nodded seriously. Yan Kexin is right, the real battle begins now. After waiting for about a quarter of an hour, the second game began. Both sides were divided into 3 groups for a doubles match. Both sides choose their opponents based on drawing lots, which is very fair. How is it, are you confident? Wang Ming smiled lightly and asked casually. What do you think? Fang Yuren's eyes showed excitement. She and Wang Ming teamed up, which can be said to be a strong alliance, and it would be difficult to lose even if they wanted to. Soon, the lottery will be over. Wang Ming and Fang Yuren also knew their opponents. Tom and Jerry in the beautiful land. With the referee's order, the fight soon began. This time, Wang Ming released Gengar to fight. He wanted to give his elves more practical combat experience. Do you have any other elves? Fang Yuren couldn't help but be surprised when Wang Ming released another elf she had never seen before. Wang Ming chuckled. I have a more powerful big treasure that I haven't brought out yet. Do you want to see it? Fang Yuren stopped talking and turned slightly red. Although she was pure-hearted, she was not stupid, and she could naturally tell that Wang Ming was driving. Do you boys like driving? Well, lust is a man's nature. Oh, I thought you were the only one like this. Tom and Jerry on the opposite side also released their respective elves. A Meow and a Rata. Wang Ming used the Eye of Discovery to take a look and found that the levels of the 2 elves were not high. Meowth is only level 22, while Rata is higher, with level. Something's not going well with the others. We encountered a group of the weakest. The strongest people should be met by others. Wang Ming said in a calm voice. If he loses in the second major game, then he can only pin his hopes on the third major game. Meow Meow, use Crazy Scratching to attack ICV. Rata, use Crush to attack Gengar. The battle breaks out, and Tom and Jerry take the lead in attacking. As the saying goes, the first strike is stronger, and the later strike suffers. It can be seen that although the 2 are from the United States, they still have some understanding of Chinese culture. Facing the 2 attacks, Wang Ming and Fang Yuren acted very calmly. In the eyes of both of them, there was no doubt about the outcome of this battle. Tom and Jerry are no match for them at all. Let alone 2v2, even 1v2, that is easy. One move to solve it. Solve it with one move. The 2 smiled at each other and launched a counterattack at the same time. Ice Eevee, use Frozen Fang. Zheng Gui, use the Shadow Ball. The ice in Bing Eevee's mouth grew crazily, and in the blink of an eye, it turned into 2 sharp ice fangs, embedded in Bing Eevee's mouth. It makes Bing Eevee's original cute image look a bit more ferocious. Click. When Meow Meow attacked, Bing Eeboo jumped up, jumped behind Meow Meow, opened his bloody mouth, aimed at Meow Meow's neck and bit it. Immediately, the ice fangs came into contact with Meow Meow's body and began to spread throughout its body at an extremely fast speed. In the blink of an eye, Meow Meow turned into an ice sculpture and lost the ability to fight. On the other side, Wang Ming's Zheng Gui is even more straightforward. A shadow ball was thrown over, and Lotta didn't even have a chance to get close. He was blown away and turned into a cannonball and rushed into the sky. Then it fell down very quickly and hit the ground, smashing a deep hole in the ground. The big pit. Both of them solved the battle with one move. Strength cannot be said to be weak. I wonder what happened to the others. Wang Ming didn't pay attention to his opponent's shock and turned to look at other people's games. At this time, Zhao Rishan and his partner were fighting hard, but the situation was not advantageous. Instead, they were beaten back by the opponent. Wang Ming shook his head in disappointment and did not continue reading. The outcome is already obvious. Zhao Rishan and the others have a very small chance of winning. Turn to look to the other side. Wang Ming was even more shocked. Because the other team has already lost. Wang Ming and Fang Yuren looked over. The two men lowered their heads in shame and did not dare to look at them. Indeed, the performance of the two of them was so embarrassing that they lost the game in less than 5 minutes. Yan Kexin's expression turned solemn when she saw that 2 of the battles on their side ended quickly, with 1 victory and 1 loss. It seems that whether they can win this game depends on Zhao Rishan and the others. At this time, Zhao Rishan had fallen into absolute passivity. Although the fight between the two sides was fierce, the situation was very clear. Zhao Rishan and the others no longer have the ability to resist. Pat. As Zhao Rishan's elf fell to the ground, the battle came to an end. Zhao Rishan and the others lost. Wang Ming frowned slightly when he saw this, turned around and left without saying anything else. Now that the outcome of the second big game has been decided, he can only focus all his energy on the last big game. Yan Kexin also sighed, feeling somewhat lonely. But soon, she cheered up again and began to comfort everyone. As the team leader this time, he and she must not bring negative emotions to their teammates. If even he doesn't think highly of his side, then his teammates will be even less optimistic. Once there is a problem with their mentality, victory will wave goodbye to them. Soon, after a short break, everyone ushered in the third major battle. It's just that what everyone didn't expect was, something has happened to the beautiful country again. They temporarily changed the rules of the game. Originally, according to what was previously discussed, the third game should be a big brawl between 2 countries with 6 players. But now, according to the proposal of the beautiful country, the 2 countries have been changed into 3 countries. In other words, all contestants take the field together and then engage in a melee. Whoever can stand at the end will be the final winner. Such rules may seem fair, but in fact they are the greatest injustice to the Dragon Kingdom. With the ugly nature of the beautiful country and the Sakura country, they will definitely work together and collude to deal with the Dragon country, and then decide the outcome separately. Obviously, people from the Long Kingdom have also thought about this problem and expressed strong condemnation and opposition to it. Even, publicly quit the competition. As the leader of the team this time, Yan Kexin was also very angry at the shameless behavior of the beautiful country. This game has no meaning anymore. People from Sakura country and beautiful country are deliberately targeting us. If the 2 countries join forces, there is no possibility for us to win. It's okay not to participate in this dirty competition. Yan Kexin's chest was shaking with anger and she said angrily, "What do y'all think? If we don't want to compete anymore, let's leave now and let those 2 idiots from beautiful country and Sakura country have their own fun." Yan Kexin was so angry that she even cursed. After hearing this, the others were also very angry and felt disdain for the dirty deeds of the beautiful country and the Sakura country. These guys are so shameless. They can come up with such a dirty way to target our Dragon Kingdom. It's okay not to participate in this competition. That's right, let's just leave and not participate. Let's see what they do. That's right, you can't spoil them. Who do they think they are? That everyone has to listen to them. We in the Dragon Kingdom don't. Seeing that no one had any desire to compete, Yan Kexin also made a decision and prepared to take everyone away from here. But at this moment, Wang Ming suddenly stood up and said, "Sister Yan, I want to participate." As soon as these words came out, everyone was stunned and turned to look at Wang Ming. "What did you say?" Yan Kexin thought she had heard wrongly and asked again. "I said, I want to participate." Wang Ming said it again. Yan Kexin felt that Wang Ming's head was spinning, and couldn't help but remind him, "You must know that you are not facing a joint attack from 1 person, but 12 people. This kind of competition is unfair. Do you want to participate too?" Wang Ming nodded, "I want to participate." In fact, what he cares about is not whether he will participate in the competition, but whether he can help the Dragon Kingdom win and win the championship. Because only by helping Dragon Kingdom win the championship can he complete the tasks issued by the system and receive rewards. Therefore, no matter what kind of request the other party makes, he will choose to agree. Because if he wants to get system rewards, he has no right to refuse. Yan Kexin looked at Wang Ming blankly, not understanding this. Not only her, but everyone else too, didn't understand why Wang Ming had to participate in such a meaningless competition. I hope everyone will support it and subscribe more.